what's cool? What I can smell is like what I can imagine a sweet curry with. Curry, like someone that's like curry.
Sweating.
Like the Rona that's like fuck me out.
Something's got you.
Like coincidental that my muscles and my
And everything's all bro.
G-Man in the building. I was Josie, bro.
Oh, it was wonderful, dude. I got through.
Dogs are good.
Friday night, dude. I was all stiff from the plane ride or whatever. Go up to the gym. I've got a lacquer gym there as well. All to myself for about an hour and a half. We were just
in the zone.
fucking best stretch train I've ever had, dude. It was lacquer, and it went well, eh?
Is that your bottle there?
Yes! Yes, Dad, go!
Okay.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. I can hear myself.
That's okay, it's big.
30 seconds.
Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Feel it in your bones. Give it a little shake, loosen up, because it's a Monday, baby. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards. So good, so good to be in your company, to have 3 hours with you in our clutches today. We cannot wait to avoid all talk of sport this morning. That's what we're going to start with. Raul, shut up, dude. Just shut up. Don't even laugh, man. No, it's a beautiful Monday morning, and we are going to show our appreciation, and there's a lot of it, for our sunrise photo contributions. You guys are amazing. We absolutely love seeing how you guys wake up every morning, and for making those contributions to our weather report. It makes all the difference, and as a result, we are giving an Expresso travel mug. It is up for grabs. It's waiting for you for your sunrise. So get posting this morning and we'll reveal who the winner is. But how beautiful is that? How inspired are you for the day ahead looking at that? And we're going to keep inspiring you. Yes, we will talk a little bit of sport, plenty of action over the weekend. We're also going to introduce you to some of the gents behind the Vusa Rugby and Learning Academy, and I stress learning as well, an amazing initiative. So hopefully that will hit you in the feels. But looking ready for business. I got to say, this morning I'm joined by two wonderful human beings. Good morning, guys.
Morning, G. We're all suited up today.
Yeah, ready for business here on this Monday morning. And of course, we will be chatting about the beautiful sport that happened this weekend for all my Reds brothers out there. Yeah, we move on to the top four. But of course, so we're talking about so much magic this morning, and it's a sensitive topic that we're chatting to Mzansi about this morning, and it comes to relationships. Now, this is a biggie, guys. And this morning, we've got the specialist to delve into all when it comes to cheating on your partner. Now, the question we're asking you this morning is, would you forgive a partner that broke your trust, Zoe? This is a sensitive one, yeah?
This is a heavy topic. I can't wait to unpack this one. I'm someone where I don't trust easily, so if you break it, it is kind of difficult to go back to that point of
Have you ever forgiven someone in the past before?
You know what? I can forgive, but I won't take you back.
Okay.
There's a difference between forgiving and moving on, and forgiving and cutting out.
Definitely understandable and relatable, and I think SA is going to have some good info when it comes to this. But let us know on our social media channels. Of course, that's expressoshow.com. That's the website. But on our social channels, we want to chat to you on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Bring it on, and we might even answer some of your questions that you have later in the show with Asha. But before we get into the magic, what's up first, sir?
Well, let's take a look at your headlines.
Thanks so much, guys. Exciting times indeed from a South African perspective as we start with our news first. South Africa's My Octopus Teacher last night won the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, or the BAFTA, for Best Documentary Film. The event was broadcast from London's Albert Hall without an audience because of COVID-19 restrictions. The film, directed by Pippa Elrich and James Reed, documents a year spent by filmmaker Craig Foster forging a relationship with a wild common octopus in a South African kelp forest just off the coast of Simonstown. My Octopus Teacher has also been nominated for an Oscar. Oscar night is due to be held on the 25th of April. And staying in South Africa, two University of Cape Town academics have become the institution's first recipients of Google's Research Scholar Program. Associate Professor Amir Patel and Dr. Mohotlo Tsu of the UCT's Electrical Engineering Department and its new African Robotics Unit are also the only Africans in the program's 2021 cohort. The program supports early career researchers working in fields relevant to the search engine giant, providing, and we quote, unrestricted gifts to support research and at institutions and focused on funding world-class research. So we certainly give massive kudos and congratulations to both. Now, on the international front, Libyan Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeila and a delegation of ministers will visit Turkey today for the first time since taking office last month. Libya's new unity government was sworn in on March the 15th from two warring administrations that had ruled the eastern and western regions, completing a smooth transition of power after a decade of violent chaos. Turkish state media reported that cooperation on energy and health would be discussed, along with the resumption of projects by Turkish companies that were halted because of the war. Then a new statue of Christ being built in Brazil will be 5 meters taller than the famous Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. Christ the Protector in the southern city of Encantado will be 43 meters high, with its pedestal making it the world's third tallest Jesus statue. There are, however, dozens of other statues worldwide that are taller, including several of the Virgin Mary and numerous Buddhas. The project, which is being funded by donations from individuals and companies, is expected to be completed later this year. And now, sadly, on to tragic news from the world of entertainment. The extremely sad news of rapper AKA's fiancée Nelly Tembe's sudden and tragic passing has sent shockwaves through the country. Tembe died yesterday morning after an incident at a Cape Town hotel. Police are investigating. According to paramedics, a woman had allegedly jumped from the 10th floor of the hotel. The grieving families of the deceased 22-year-old and AKA himself, whose real name is Kenan Forbes, have since released a statement. And we quote, "It is with the deepest regret that we, the Tembe and Forbes families, confirm the untimely passing of our beloved fiancée, daughter, sister and daughter-in-law, Anele Tembe." Meanwhile, on Saturday, much-loved medical doctor and KFM host Cindy van Zyl passed away at the age of 45, and that was after contracting COVID-19. She was a well-known and beloved doctor, radio host and magazine columnist who offered advice on a range of medical topics, particularly on her Twitter account. Affectionately known as the People's Doctor, Van Zyl became popular by using her medical knowledge to educate social media users on health matters. South Africans raised R1.5 million in recent weeks to assist her in covering medical expenses. We certainly send our condolences and all of our love to both families. And that's where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's get into the sport. Let's start with cricket, and off to a flying start. Pakistan recorded a very impressive, in the end, 4-wicket victory over South Africa in their first T20 international match at the new Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Saturday. The Proteas won the toss and chose to bat, posting 188 for 6. Pakistan reaching 189 for 6, with opener Mohammad Rizwan smashing 74 from 50 deliveries. That second T20 match between South Africa and Pakistan will take place at 2:30 this afternoon. Now, staying with cricket, the 2021 Indian Premier League season kicked off this weekend with victories for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, Delhi Capitals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. So Virat Kohli's RCB, they claimed a 2-wicket victory over the defending champions, the Mumbai Indians, with South Africa's AB de Villiers hitting 48 from 27 deliveries. In other IPL results, the Delhi Capitals beat the Chennai Super Kings by 7 wickets, and Kolkata Knight Riders, they claimed a 10-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. There'll be only one IPL fixture today, and that's the Rajasthan Royals facing the Kings 11 Punjab at 4 p.m. Then some thrilling varsity rugby and CUT that made it 3 wins in 3 varsity cup matches. That was after beating UFS's Shimla's 31-24 in Pretoria yesterday. So CUT currently topping the table on 14 points. Now other varsity cup results, reigning champions Marties, they edged out Wits in a thriller 19-13. UWC beat NMU's Madibas 47-40, and UP Tuks and UCT's Ikes also made it 3 victories in 3 matches after recording wins over NWU and UJ respectively. So Tuks beat NWU's Eagles 33-15, and Ikes, they claimed a narrow 39-34 win over Wits. The varsity round 4 action will continue on the 22nd of April. Now staying in South Africa for football news, AmaZulu FC march on. They've moved up to 2nd in the Premier Soccer League standings. That was after seeing off Stellenbosch FC 1-0 at the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch on Friday. Now the PSL results, Cape Town City FC broke an 8-game winless run in the league, beating SuperSport United 3-0 in Cape Town. Then Chakuma, they beat TS Galaxy 2-0. Golden Arrows and Bloem Celtic, they had to share the spoils, playing out to a 1-1 draw. And Swallows recorded a 1-0 win over Black Leopards to stay in the hunt as well. Now crossing over the ocean, the English Premier League log leaders Manchester City dropped points after suffering a 2-1 defeat at the hands of a 10-man Leeds United at the Etihad Stadium. This was in fact only City's 4th defeat this season. The defending Premier League champions Liverpool, they claimed a 2-1 win over Aston Villa. Jesse Lingard, who really has found his form at his new club, he scored twice as West Ham United beat Leicester City 3-2. Manchester United, they came from behind to beat Tottenham Hotspur 3-1 with a very impressive second half performance. And then Arsenal beat bottom of the log Sheffield United 3-0 as well. Jeremy Harris is in the house to talk us through to commiserate, yes, and talk us through all of that weekend sporting action. So stick around for that. Right now, let's take a look at how the sky looks above your part of South Africa.
Thank you, Graham. And we also say thank you to you for sharing your sunrise photos with us. We simply love to see your parts of the country. Now, kicking us off this week is Anita Maharaj from Cape Town, who shared this golden view of the sun rising in the distance. Absolutely beautiful. Today, expect mostly cloudy conditions, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius. We received another coastal image of the sun rising over the rocky shoreline. This one's from Carol Joy. So don't forget to let us know your locations, pretty please, and do continue to share and interact with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We really love seeing and sharing how you start your day. And while we love seeing the various parts of South Africa, we also love exploring and learning about different cultures and countries internationally. So this morning, if you are one of our viewers who are tuned in from Carson City in Nevada, this one is just for you. The town began as a stopover for California-bound immigrants, but developed into a city with the Comstock Lodge, a silver strike in the mountains to the northeast. The city has served as Nevada's capital since statehood in 1864. Today will be a partly sunny day, starting at a cool 1 degree Celsius while warming up to 19 degrees Celsius as the day progresses. While we come back home here on South African shores, well, some 150 farmers and their workers at Lady Smith in the Little Karoo have received drought and humanitarian assistance. South African water warriors facilitated the transportation of donations, which included 150 Lucerne bales, 15 tons of maize, a ton of potatoes, 30 tons of water, about 70,000 rands worth of groceries, and diesel to the value of 15,000 rand. The region has not had decent rain in the past 7 years. SA Water Warriors Southern Cape's representative, Peter Du Plessis, said the donations were transported by volunteers from Cape Town, George, and Pretoria. He said these volunteers travel to people in need using their own fuel at their own cost and generally do all they can to help the farmers. He added that once they've dropped the donations off, they visit and mingle with the farmers to show that they truly care about them and boost their morale. Du Plessis said that was often the highlight of their outreaches. So anyone considering to help by means of donations or becoming a volunteer, you can visit the South African Water Warriors Facebook page. Well, on that note, let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 12 with a high of 28 for today. Mbombela 16, reaching a high of 30. It's sunny in Pretoria, 14 with a high of 30. Johannesburg 12, reaching a high of 28. Mahikeng 13, 31. Klerksdorp 13 with a high of 32. Sunny in Kimberley with a high of 32 for today. Bloemfontein 10, reaching a high of 31. If you're in Richards Bay, 21's your low, 30 your high. Pietermaritzburg 16, 30. It's partly cloudy in Durban today, 21 reaching a high of 28. Mthatha 14 with a high of 30. Cloudy conditions in East London today, 19 reaching a high of 25. Partly cloudy conditions in Cradock, 13 with a high of 35. Kabeja 17 reaching a high of 24. George 14 reaching a high of 24. It's partly cloudy in Cape Town today with a high of 23. Worcester 15 reaching a high of 35. Sutherland 11 with a high of 29. And a hot day can be expected in Uppington. It's sunny with a high of 36 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
So you look great, by the way.
Thank you.
You look good,
man.
Sharp
Ready
this
for
morning,
Monday,
eh?
yeah?
It helps, eh, if you feel the part, man.
Good, feel good.
Obviously, the cooler weather, no excuse to stop those early morning workouts. In fact, more of a motivation.
Bring it on.
You know, summer bodies are made in winter. And of course, the new menswear athleisure range at Woolworths allows you the choice to work out now or later. So this hybrid clothing is becoming a staple in everyone's wardrobes. We've spoken about it a lot in the show. Easily and comfortably interchangeable as fitness gear or a modern kind of laid-back look. And we are loving the styles and the prints. And obviously performance is a major thing, so it needs to be able to fit the bill. But this looks pretty cool.
It looks good, man. Jen, the fact is that I'm so excited. Like, you know how girls get excited for heels? This is like the version of heels for us guys, man. Especially when it comes to fitness, you can relate, obviously, G, and especially when it comes to our lifestyle. So for me, I'm loving the fact that this looks good enough to just wear out.
You can do your thing, yeah.
And I get to decide when I want to work out. So let's say a meeting pops up and I don't get that opportunity to do my lunchtime session. I'll go to the meeting like this. I'll feel confident in this.
Some white sneaks.
Yeah, man. You can see how you can dress it up, and it's fitted. So the tee itself is going to give that nice cut on the buys. You know, you want to impress the clients a little bit extra.
Which pants are you talking about?
This one over here.
These pants over here. This one over there.
Exactly that, man. And also the fact that the pants are tapered, but it's not just the t-shirt and the pants and jogger. There's hoodies. There are tights as well. I remember, like, for me back in the day as an athlete, I used to want to look good, but there weren't many options for the guys. I literally used to buy girls' tights. Shh, Mzansi, don't tell anybody. But I had to do that because I had to push the boundary of style, because athleisure didn't exist. It was just, you're an athlete or you're not. So, man,
and it's, as much as you want to kind of steer away from it, it's how you look depicts how you feel. And when you train, you want to train in gear that makes you feel good, that makes you feel athletic, that fits the form, that breathes. And obviously this is performance gear, so it'll do the job when you need it to actually do the job. But loving the look. I'm thinking, like, a bit of a roll up there, some white sneakers. You could even finish this off with a nice crisp white tee. There's beautiful, beautiful ways of
Who's this speaking? Is this the designer? G, I'm here.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Well, with this athlete range, you can get the most out of your workouts with performance shorts, with joggers, with tees, with leggings and hooded jackets, all for the gym.
Luckily for me, G, I'm going to get to wear this in my fitness segment later on the show. Put it through his paces. I'm going with the X-Teal performance tee and jogger that I can enjoy with that slim fit cut we spoke about, and of course the moisture management, and I'm going to put it to the test later on.
Yeah. So maximize your potential by investing in athleisure pieces built for performance with moisture wicking properties to keep you dry no matter what you are doing to exert yourself. And you can shop these looks, as always, in Woolies, in store, online, or on their app. Beautiful, man.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back. You're live on Expresso as we delve into the weekend sport. Mohammad Rizwan was impressive, to say the least, leading Pakistan to a 4-wicket victory over South Africa in the first T20 international match, playing out at the Bull Ring on Saturday. Then in the Indian Premier League kicking off, there were wins for the Royal Challengers, Bangalore, the Delhi Capitals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. Sports anchor Jeremy Harris now joins us in studio to share his views on all of the cricket action. Didn't catch any of the IPL, so I'm looking forward to you filling me in there. But let's start. First of all, how are you, dude?
Yeah, good, bud. Good. Missed you on the weekend. I mean, or on the Friday. Yeah.
Oh, man. And I wanted to stay away because I had a feeling that Spurs would get hammered, and we did. We will talk about the football
We
a little
will
bit
talk
later.
about that.
But right now, we've got to talk about South Africa in a T20 that was ours to win. I feel like we had done enough. Yes, maybe we were probably 10 runs short in the chase. We needed to kind of get that 200. But we, thanks to a 6 off the last ball, we were above the average.
Yeah.
I felt like we had the perfect start. What went wrong for the Proteas? Can we, Bjorn Hendricks, 1 over. Can you put the blame on one guy?
No, I don't think you can. I mean, we always say, when we talk about T20 cricket, it's always those narrow margins, particularly in that format of the game. But I mean, you're right. We had a really good platform. 188 should be a winning score in sort of 8 out of 10 games, I guess.
And it would have been at that ground.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what it also shows is that the Pakistani batsmen are just really top-notch. Good performance from them, take nothing away from the win. And I think the South African bowlers have maybe learned a couple of things in terms of bowling in that format.
I'm glad you said that. Lizard Williams, I thought, was particularly good. Sisanda Magala, I wasn't aware that he could get up to 145, 46. I mean, there's some genuine pace in that bowling attack. What did you make of this team? Because it felt like a completely new team. Is this the right way to do it in a T20 tournament now? We're all talking about the build-up to the next big international kind of showdown. Is this the right way to do it? How did you feel about the makeup of the team?
I guess the question is, if not now, then when?
When, yeah.
And you've got to do it at some point, and you've got to decide, well, is this tour more important than the World Cup? Because, I mean, we've got a great track record at World Cups. So, I mean, you've got to get the guys out there, got to give them a bit of international experience, and you've got to let them go, this is what it feels like when you lose, guys. It doesn't feel nice, does it? So, let's not do that again.
And that being said, we could have, for all money, won this match.
Exactly.
Themba Bavuma out with an injury and out for a couple of games now. What did you make of Heinrich Klaassen? Could he have done anything differently in those closing stages to limit them? Do you think
I think that Heinrich, obviously handed the captain's armband as a result of Themba's injury, and it's always difficult when you get given that kind of responsibility under those circumstances. So I think that he did a really good job. He had a lot of, he had support, within the team, as is always the case. There isn't one captain. There's a group of leaders. But I think, as you say, it's a newish looking team. They maybe haven't played together that often. They don't know everything about each other, so they'll gel.
Yeah, Bjorn, and because the talent is there.
Absolutely.
Clearly the talent is there.
Absolutely.
You can't take the kind of wickets that he was taking, and then you get smashed for, 18
and you look at their performance in recent domestic competitions, and you just know those guys are talented. They've got it, when it counts, but just on the day, not
facing an unbelievable batting lineup, let's be honest. I think that's where the Pakistanis have got some beautiful balance. So they lead the series 1-0, and of course they'll be back in action at 2:30 this afternoon. Okay, very quickly, take me through the IPL. Added impetus because of course South Africans are playing in the IPL. We've been treated to some beautiful T20 tournaments. That's kind of been the saving grace for me through this COVID year, that we've seen a bit of international cricket. The Royal Challengers Bangalore beating the defending champions, the Mumbai Indians, by 2 wickets.
Look, I mean, you obviously missed it on Friday, but I picked 3 winners for the IPL.
Well,
and three out of three wrong. So I think maybe we should move on to ice hockey or something.
Do you want to talk curling? Let's talk some curling.
Just useless.
But you can be forgiven for thinking the defending champions. I mean, they've got an unbelievable squad. Delhi Capitals beating the Chennai Super Kings by 7 wickets. Dominant.
Great game of cricket, I got to tell you. Good game of cricket. I still picked the Chennai Super Kings for the win, but I mean, a good game of cricket, and just one of those games where somebody loses, somebody wins. It was a good performance.
just like a cricket captain. And then Kolkata Knight Riders beating the Sunrisers Hyderabad by a good 10 runs as well. How are you feeling about the South Africans playing abroad? AB de Villiers obviously had a fantastic knock. I asked him this the last time we interviewed him if he is keen, and he said yes, he's putting his hand up.
Wow,
and,
please, let that be
you know,
true.
he's ready to come back in. What do you make of the IPL for the South African performers, that side? How important is it?
I think it is. It's very important, and I think that not only does it give them, obviously, the opportunity to play against that quality of opposition, but I think that it just equips them better when it comes to Protea's duty, and we call it that. So it does put you in a different headspace. It does give you a different sort of chutzpah in terms of confidence when you walk out onto that park, so that a situation like we had against Pakistan maybe is better handled.
You've been there before. You've been there before. But bottom line, we want AB de Villiers back in that team for the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. And you can take nothing away from the importance of the T20 format now. It's here to stay, and it's vital. So stay tuned. Sports anchor Jeremy Harris will be sharing his thoughts on all of the Varsity Cup action, which has really been great. Some football, of course, some tough results to chew on, but we'll get into that in just a moment.
Thank you so much, gents. Of course, we will be chatting to Jeremy in just a bit. There's so much sport action coming through from this weekend, and what a weekend it was. We're definitely going to be chatting about the Reds. Yeah. But before we get into it, let's stick to the topic of sport. And we're talking about the Vusa Rugby and Learning Academy, which is a program run in the Lange Township in the Western Cape. Now, this remarkable program has impacted the lives of so many children who often come from difficult circumstances. And now the academy not only offers an impressive rugby program, but also an academic support, peer learning and mobile library programs too. How awesome is that?
That is amazing. And here to share more about the Vusa Rugby and Learning Academy, please welcome Academy Director Brendan Fogarty and Program Manager Makabongwe Kahla. They are joining us this morning. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, gents, man. Thank you so much for joining us. It's bright and early, which we always appreciate after a good weekend. But I've got to ask, man, what you guys are doing is incredible. Everybody out here loves it. How did it start? When did you guys get involved? What was the reason behind this?
I think we started in about 2001. And I think initially we started off to try and create a difference. We got things wrong in the beginning. We sort of based ourselves in the wrong kind of places. And slowly but surely we've metamorphed, and we now base ourselves exclusively in Lange, which is where the kids live, it's where the coaches live, and so what started off as an exclusive rugby program has now developed into an academic program, a preschool creche ECD program, academics, kids get a hot meal every single day, and we do educational outings, aquarium, Table Mountain, Newlands Rugby. So we've kind of metamorphed into what we like to consider an all-round after-schools program. For our kids.
Yeah, and I love that you've bridged away. I mean, the draw card was rugby, and you've bridged away from that to include the academic side of it. Where did you see the need for that?
I think the need really came about initially when we found children from Lange going into Model C schools. We found that often the academic gap was a little bit big, and kids would come in possibly on scholarships to schools, and they were finding the bridge a little bit difficult. And I think that's what initially started the academic program. But I think more importantly, whilst rugby is a great sport, very few people actually make rugby a career. And academics is ultimately what we're going to generate an income from. So the academic component is a very, very important part of the program.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that not only are you guys working in Lange, but we move a little bit closer, well, over the suburbs a bit, and I believe there's somewhat of a relationship with Bishop's College, which, in my opinion, has been this upper echelon when it comes to the prestige of a kid when he has an athletic mindset or even an academic one. So what is the relationship with the two of you guys?
So I'm a teacher at Bishop's.
Okay.
I teach at the Bishop's Prep School, and I think it's vital, I think in South Africa where we have hubs of excellence, to be tapping into these hubs of excellence and looking to create conduits between other communities that are maybe not as fortunate, and to sort of rise whilst we're rising, to lift the communities around us. We have all the facilities, we have the expertise, we have the means and the know-how at Bishop's. So what a wonderful opportunity to tap into a community that is not far away from us. You know, if the robots are all red, it takes us 5 minutes. If the robots are all green, it takes us 5 minutes to get to Langa. So I think there's a natural conduit between the two communities.
I must just comment on that. And one thing that I love about it is the fact that you're not just necessarily taking the kid out of the community and putting them into a system, you're bringing the system to them, which is for me something I've noticed to be so impactful when a kid gets to see in their own environment what other kids and their friends are able to do, which I think is so inspiring. So it would sound as though you're getting that expertise from Bishops, bringing it to these kids, which, man, I've got to say thank you for that, because I think it's been something that's been lacking when it comes to adding value to these communities especially. So well done, man, guys. That was awesome.
It's amazing. Now, Mac, as programming manager, you've got a big role with you. Are you more hands-on involved? Can you give us a little bit of an overview of what happens at the academy?
Yeah, so I'm more hands-on. I run the daily program, whichever daily program will start at 8 o'clock in the morning, right up until 5. So during those times, we're doing physical educations with our preschool ECDA, kids from 6 until 7, and then in the afternoon, that's when we're doing the rugby training from 3 o'clock until 5 o'clock. Also, between that slot, we're also doing the academics, as Brendan mentioned. So basically, it's a full day work from 8 o'clock right up until 5 o'clock, and there's a big focus on terms of academics and kids being in the team environment and whatnot. So yeah, it's a full day.
Well, Mac, I mean, for the rest of Mzansi, if they do want to get involved in the program, want to find out more, how exactly can they do so?
Yeah, we are based in Cape Town, Langa. Hopefully in the future we can be able to expand to go to another province. But at the moment we are based here in Langa. It's free for everyone. We do have kids outside of Langa who actually come to the program. So anyone who wants to be involved in rugby, they can come and join us. They can contact us on Facebook, Vusa Rugby and Academy, on Twitter @Vusa Academy. So it's free for all kids from ages 9 to under 13. They're welcome, boys and girls, they're welcome to join us.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We say a big thank you to Vusa Academy Director, Brendan, and Program Manager, Makabongwe, who joined us this morning. Now, don't go anywhere, because some of the kids of the Vusa Academy will be showing us how they stay fit after this. Ryle is joining them.
I don't know what I got myself into here.
Well, listen, I'm just so excited to see that there are girls playing rugby.
Yes, that's awesome.
There we go. Well, listen, so much more coming up after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Monday. We are live right here on your Feel Good. It's the Expresso Show. Now, we've been chatting to them earlier, just before the break, and the children of the amazing Vusa Rugby and Learning Academy are joining us on the Expresso studio floor to take me through one of their favorite fitness routines performed at the academy. And of course, Mzansi, you can get involved right now too as well. Now, this physical activity is essential for children as it promotes healthy growth as well as development. But make sure all your kids at home join in for this beautiful hashtag Monday motivation workout. Now, team, what are we doing? Are you ready today, Vuza? Brother, I'm so excited for this, man. I love working with kids. I think it's so important that we get them moving. So I'm going to let you take it away, man. What's the first movement? What are we doing?
Firstly, we need to get stretched
Okay.
before doing anything, starting from the foot downwards, up, going out, or upwards.
All right, let's get involved. I
Okay.
like that. That's very
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
Zanzi, warm up before you get straight into your workout so you don't promote injury. So what are we doing first?
Okay, firstly, we're stretching the cleats.
Okay.
Okay, you need to open up shoulder wide.
All right.
Yes, and then you touch the outside side of the ankle.
Okay.
Going down slowly, not fast.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm feeling a big stretch at the back of the legs. Is that correct?
Just hold
That's
it
not
right
just
there.
from the weekend.
No. You need to just hold it right there where you feel it's starting to hurt.
I always must say I get jealous with the kids because I can see how good their range is. And I wish I was younger.
Younger. Okay, you just need to count about 10 seconds or so.
Okay.
As you go down from 10 to 1.
All right.
Okay.
So once the 10 seconds are done, what are we doing next?
Yes, we need to shift.
Okay.
Stretching also the back because it's very much important that your glutes and your hamstrings become so flexible. Because
but
you're
at the
going to
same
move
time
it.
still being warm because
Yes,
especially in rugby,
yes.
you're in those rucks, those malls,
Contact and
tackling.
everything.
Yeah,
yes.
man, okay.
So
Let's
you
get into it.
You need to cross a little bit, another 10 seconds, go down slowly, be careful not to harm yourself.
Now this is putting a big stretch on the lower back now. It's
Yeah.
a little bit higher, is that right?
Yes, that's the point.
Nice.
Hold it there, where it hurts. Just, okay, you need to change again.
All right, so Mzansi, you guys at home, we are just demonstrating the exercises, but at least 10 to 15 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds of these static stretches are going to be really good. We're working our way up the lower back. We've just done the hamstrings and the glutes, right?
Yes, that's
okay,
it.
we're moving over
Changing
to the other
the
side
legs,
of the body,
yes.
changing the legs.
Same exercise.
And for you guys at home, of course, remember we are showing demonstrations, so please take your time with these stretches. Make sure you're really getting involved with these.
Yes, 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, you heard the
Okay.
man. I won't argue with these biceps. All right,
Okay.
so what are we up to next?
What we need to do, we need to focus on the front side of our thighs.
Okay.
Which is, we have to do the jumping
You
squat.
said the frontal side of our tires. I like that.
No.
Are these the tires?
No, the thighs. Okay, we're going to do jump squats.
Okay.
As the old demo, as the kids will go. We're going down slowly. And then
squat.
sprint up.
Okay. Ooh, it's a lot of power for this
Yes,
one.
yes,
Right,
yes.
good stretch. So I'm watching the kids behind you and they are nailing this. Perfect neutral spines. The glutes are going back. Are you professional squatters? What's going on?
No, I think that's the basics of rugby. We need to be on point.
Yeah.
Especially the backside, the spine and everything need to be aligned so that you
Solid.
cannot injure yourself on a tackle or a ruck situation, something like that.
So I think the squat as well is just an incredible movement just for foundational strength on its own.
As you go down, that's a crouch position.
So we're going nice and slow on the way down, yeah?
Yes. When you jump up,
Explode.
spring.
See if you can hit it on the roof. Can any of you guys hit it on the roof? Let's try one more. See who can go the highest.
Okay,
let's go for
let's
one
go.
more. Challenge, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Shoo!
Okay, as you're done with the lower part, you need also to go down on push-ups. Before we do push-ups, you need to stretch properly.
Okay.
For your shoulders.
And especially when I'm watching the game, I'm seeing that push-ups are quite vital because you're trying to defend a tackle, protecting the ball, protecting your mates. So I'm understanding that push movement is quite an important one in the
Yes,
game,
because
right?
you're using a lot of muscles. At the same time, you're losing a lot of power.
Yeah.
So you have to be strong and be fit.
I like that.
The upper body.
And I'm seeing such a beautiful correlation to the fact that if you don't play the game, training still helps you in general life.
Yes.
I mean, doing the squats can help me pick up heavy items or gear, pick up the toys when I have to pack them up before dinner. So I think there's some value in this to life
Yes,
as well,
and-
not just in the sport.
Yes.
Which I'm absolutely loving. So once we're done with the stretch, what's this last exercise we're going to get into?
The last
Run
one.
at a time, yeah.
The last one, you have to go for push-ups.
All
You cannot
right.
just finish this anything without the push-ups.
Okay.
That's a crucial part in rugby. Strong shoulders, strong chest, and strong back. So push-ups will help you with
This
that.
is not an easy one. You guys ready for this? Can you do a push-up? You look scared.
Okay,
down,
okay,
down the
let's go.
ground.
Let's go down, yes.
Okay.
The crucial part with push-ups, it's your position, your body position.
Yeah.
You must be upright all the time.
Okay.
So we're gonna go for push-ups.
All
Let's
right,
go
you guys
count
ready at the
10.
back?
Let's go 10.
Let's go, 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mzansi, join in. Come on, you guys can do this. We're gonna get there. Let's go, kids.
7,
Push it.
8,
Push it.
9,
Push it.
That's it.
Sorry, man, I get so excited when I'm on the field, when it comes to sport, when it comes to being with the team. I absolutely love it, and I can't thank you guys enough for the work that you're doing. It's the Vuza Awakening Communities campaign. These guys are doing an incredible work when it comes to rugby, when it comes to sport, when it comes to uplifting the community, and all we out here at Mzansi is doing is you guys need to get involved, you guys need to train, you guys need to get awakened and come support this awesome, awesome cause. Guys, that was incredible. I think one more jump squat for the end. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Yeah!
Oh, wow, they're so cute. They remind me of my younger self. I used to do that all the time. I still do the exact same moves. Even now this morning I was doing that. Well done, guys. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to be working out like those kids and like I do, chances are that you've given more thought to your pre-workout meal than your post-workout meal, because that's what we do. We think about what we're going to eat and put in before we train, as opposed to what we're going to be eating afterwards. But consuming the right nutrients just after a workout is just as important. And we've got one of my favorites, Teresa Alyate, in the kitchen this morning. She's going to be making a scrumptious chicken and rice bowl packed with flavor thanks to her homemade macadamia dukkha, nati rice and punchy Dijon vinaigrette. It's a balanced and wholesome meal if you ask me and if you ask Teresa, right?
Yes,
Teresa,
yes,
good morning.
absolutely. Especially if you're working out. This is a great meal. It's got lots of carbs and protein and fats, good fats.
And you're like a fitness queen. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, I try.
Sweet. So what is a dukkha? I mean, I know that I mentioned that there's a dukkha that you've prepared here, but what on earth is that?
It's basically a mixture of nuts and seeds and spices. So it's toasted, you blend it together, and you can use it as a dip, like a dry dip. You can sprinkle it on salad, over veggies, and we are using it as a coating for our chicken today. It's absolutely delicious.
Love that.
So
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to make it. So we're using macadamia nuts today.
Great.
There are lots of different variations for dukkha, lots of different recipes. So we've got flaked almonds, then we've got our spices. So we've got some cumin and some coriander.
Nice.
Lovely warm spices, gives a really good flavor. And then you often find sesame seeds in dukkha, and we're using a mixture of black and white sesame
And I mean,
seeds.
all of these things that are going into that dukkha mixture, it's all the power ingredients that you need. If you are someone who works out, you're getting really an explosion of nutrition in there.
So we're going to blend this together.
There we go. So you're not adding any sort of liquids to that? So no water, no milk, nothing like that?
Completely dry. And I mean, it's so quick and easy. I like having a little bit of texture.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a couple of seconds and it's done.
And then it's ready.
And I'm going to pop it onto our chicken.
Great.
Do you want to start on our vinaigrette dressing
Great,
while
yes.
I do this?
So what is this?
So that is Dijon mustard.
Dijon mustard.
You're going to add some olive oil.
Some olive oil. Let's start with the olive oil. How much
any
olive oil
order.
do you want going in here?
So about 3 or 4 tablespoons.
Okay, so
a
that
couple of
is
good
like
doses.
this.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's about it. That is
sounds
about
good.
it. That is the trick.
And then we're going to add some
lemon juice.
Vinegar.
Vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar.
Look at me acting like I know. I've done this before.
You can use lemon juice as well.
Because it helps to also smell the ingredients, right? If you're unsure and not just judge it at face value. So we're getting some vinegar
That's
in there. I
tricky 'cause
suppose
it's a cloudy one, so that
that's
was
it.
was fooling.
And then we've got some
salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper going
And then
in.
also a little bit of garlic. I'm going to heat up some olive oil on our pan. And so what I've done is I've just tossed our chicken breast fillet in our dukkha.
Okay.
So it's lightly coated.
Yes.
And then I'm going to fry that off.
Is that
it's
the
cooked
trick,
through.
to lightly coat it and not too heavily coat?
Yeah, look, it's up to you. I find the spices are quite strong, so if you have a very thick layer, it might be a little bit overpowering.
Okay, I see what you mean.
But
also you do want the heat of the pan to actually seep into the chicken and not just the coating, right?
Exactly. No, you've got to cook it. So I'm going to let those fry off for a little bit.
Nice. So
And
while I'm
then
getting this done, well, listen, we've made this very easy for any of you at home who want to get your hands on this recipe. In fact, you do want to get your hands on this recipe. Go on our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. On there, we've got all of the ingredients you're going to need to bring this to life, as well as a step-by-step guide. And as you can see, it's incredibly easy.
Very, very easy. Can I give you a little trick with that as well?
Yeah.
You can use a whisk, or if you want to, you can put all the ingredients in a jar, put the lid on, give it a good shake.
Shake.
And in a couple of seconds, it'll all come together beautifully.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
you can add a little bit of garlic there
Actually,
as
you're
well.
right about the whisk, because I see the consistency of it is all changing as opposed to when I was using the spoon.
Yeah, that's going to help. So this is some chicken that we cooked off earlier and we've sliced. So I'm going to pop it in my bowl with our rice, and you can use any kind of rice that you like.
Okay. Black
So
rice
just
as
pop-
well.
Yeah, black rice, wild rice. We've got some brown rice today.
Great. This is garlic. Oh,
Garlic,
yes.
yes.
You'll get nowhere without garlic. Nowhere. You're going nowhere slowly without garlic. I promise you. I love it.
Then we've
Getting
got
that
some
in there.
cauliflower. This we've just roasted in the oven with a bit of olive oil, salt
Yeah.
and pepper. Pop that in your bowl.
I mean, that looks like health. If health
It
was a
is.
meal,
It's balanced.
that is it. That is the poster meal child for health. I love it. So
Beautiful
when does this
flavours.
go in?
That looks perfect. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to drizzle this over our rice and our cauliflower and our chicken. This is going to just add a little punch of flavor.
It smells so good,
You can
right?
garnish it, and that's your meal done. A beautiful lunch, beautiful dinner.
Yes.
Super healthy.
And it is incredibly healthy, and that's the whole thing. Is
Yeah.
the meal that you have after a workout, you want to make sure is the healthiest you possibly can. Get all of those nutrients in, so that your workout was at least actually worthwhile. Can I
Yes.
try this and then
Yes,
see
please
if
do.
the flavors and the taste actually lives up to?
And dukkha is a
promise.
fantastic thing just to keep in your fridge. You can use it on all kinds of things. How does that taste?
It's divine.
Oh, good.
Divine. Go make it, expressoshow.com. Thanks, Teresa.
It's a pleasure.
You rock my world, you do.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Let's delve back into a bumper weekend of sport, from sensational wins in the 2021 Varsity Cup competition, which is really exciting this year, to some shock losses in the PSL and the Premier League in the UK. In case you missed any of the sports action, sports anchor Jeremy Harris is here to give us all of the deets. I'm hoping you got these right on Friday. I wasn't here.
Yes.
Did you pick any of these?
I was much better about this.
Okay,
Wow.
so clearly you have been watching Varsity Cup rugby. This is where it all begins. So many stars are born on these fields. Free-flowing rugby. We love to see these high-scoring games. And let's start with a really good game and a tight game and a surprising result for me, because I remember UJ being kind of the stalwart team that are still now winless in the competition, but the Ikeys, they had to work hard for that 39-34 win.
Yeah, it's a different looking Ikeys team. I think they've got the benefit of quite a few guys who've been there before. They've got an experienced squad. I mean, I think it's 3 or 4 wins, on the trot. They're looking really polished, and I mean, I don't know what to say, but I mean, they could very well go all the way. Just quickly touch wood, but I mean, they could very well go all the way.
Oh, they passed that James Tedder's pass to Seth.
James Tedder signed that man immediately.
Yeah. Just the rugby IQ on the field, absolutely amazing. Ati Ghazi putting his ears back to score a brilliant winger's try.
Yep.
Some fantastic rugby shown there. Then another hotly contested encounter, UWC 47-40 over the Madibas.
Yes.
First of all, can we tip our hats to the Madibas, who are not, they're pretty new to the fold, playing at this level. Some fantastic rugby, but again, another amazing performance. Tinotenda Masavere hat-trick for the flanker. Brilliant.
Yeah. Now look, you know, with all due respect to the guys at Varsity Cup, I've always described it as the T20 version of rugby.
For sure.
It's glitz and glam. It's just anything can happen. It's explosive. It's entertaining, and that's what we got particularly out of that game. 47-40. Where you're going to see a game with almost 90 points, you are edge of the seat stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Then CUT continue their winning run. They're now top of the table, incidentally. 31-24 over Shimlis. NWU going down to UP Tix, who've had a great start. And then Marty's had to work really hard for a 19-13 win over Wits, who I think could be feel disappointed that they didn't get that one in the bag. Let's shift gears now to the PSL. A couple of shocks, a couple of surprises, and a couple of, I suppose, I shouldn't be surprised at AmaZulu on the rise that they are, because obviously they've spent a huge investment in terms of the coaching staff and getting the team together. Did you expect them to respond as quickly as they have? Second on the table now after that 1-0 win over Stellenbosch.
I've got to say I did. I think that Benny McCarthy is just... He's an enigmatic person that teams and players particularly respond to. They look at him and they go, you have been there. I would love to be where you've been.
You know what you're talking about.
And so when you speak, I'm listening.
Yeah, man, and Cape Town City must be thinking, why did we ever let him go? Maybe not this weekend, because they did get the win. They finally got back on track after a bit of a torrid run of it, and did it in style, 3-0 over Supersport. Sorry to the Supersport guys, I flew on the plane with him down to Cape Town.
Good team as well, absolutely. But I think home ground advantage, there was just a burning desire from Cape Town City to get the win. And may I just say, you know, well done to Craig Martin for picking up his 100th cap for the Citizens. Very emotional day for him, and one of just 5 players to have done that for that club.
Yeah, great way to mark that occasion as well. Golden Arrows, they continue some impressive form, still sitting up at the top in their chasing pack, 1-1 with Bloem Celtic, and then Swallows ended their 9-game losing streak, or winless streak rather, with a 1-0 win over a hapless Black Leopards. And now we shift gears again to the...
Do you want to talk about this? Are you sure?
I don't want to talk about it at all. I don't want to talk about it at all.
We can talk about curling.
So let's talk about Man City losing to a 10-man Leeds. I suppose it had to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Leeds can play some very exciting football, and they adapted after losing a man. They showed that maybe there are some cracks in the armour.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. I didn't pick that result, to be honest.
West Ham, unbelievable. They did everyone in the chasing pack a favour, 3-2 over Leicester. Jesse Lingard, what an unbelievably positive move in his life. Clearly Moyes backs him. His shift in form, I think another 2 goals in that encounter, they're phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think David Moyes is worried that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to go, hold on a second.
No, I want him back.
That loan is done. We're finished with it. We must come back to Old Trafford.
You mentioned Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Kudos to Man United. A brilliant second-half performance against, again, a hapless Spurs. Ugly first half, but a superb performance.
Yeah, it was a bad-tempered first half. I really thought it was just, you know, some petulant things going on there. Off the ball nastiness. But wow, what a performance from United. Even as a United fan, I looked at it and I thought, wow, any team in the world that they'd come up against in that second half would have been tested, and it was a really good performance from them.
Is the chase for a coveted 4th spot done and dusted for Spurs? Probably, but we will continue to live in hope. A massive thank you to sports anchor Jeremy Harris for joining us this morning. We absolutely love him. Don't forget to show your hashtag Protea Fire for the Proteas up against Pakistan in the second T20 international match. A lot of young players need our support in that team, and that kicks off at 2:30 p.m.
Time for some fun and games here on your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Happy Monday, everyone. It's time to have a gap filler with Super M to make the M in Monday magnificent. Because why? Hashtag all you need is M. And we're about to find out who our next Mystery M Conundrum game winner will be. And today's theme is a mystery. The incredible prize up for grabs is a Samsung microwave with 9 preset cook modes and an eco mode setting that significantly reduces electricity usage, which is great. The perfect addition to any kitchen. The stylish microwave will go to the winning contestant with the most points in today's Mystery M Conundrum game. It's all exciting, but now let's heat things up a little bit and meet our contestants. Joining us via video call is contestant number 1, Elzaan van Aas. Elzaan, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Tell me a bit about yourself, Elzan. Yes, you got a great smile and you look like you're a fantastic person, but tell me more about yourself.
I stay in Bellville and I recently started my own business doing some string art. And yeah, so...
I love it. I love it. Well, this is exciting because as a new entrepreneur, I think that you probably will be very excited to receive this brand new microwave because let's be honest, if you're starting your own business, you want to save as much money as you can. I'm very excited to play with this game with you. You are representing all the people in Bellville, so you need to put your A game here, all right?
Yeah.
Contestant number 2 is Nomi van Wyk. Nomi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very, very good. Nomi, you seem very excited to take part in the game. Are you as excited as you seem?
Yes, I am.
And where are you joining us from and what are some of your hobbies? What do you like?
Well, I'm from Somerset West, and which is actually quite close to Bellville. I'm a mom of 2 very busy boys, and I'm also I've got my own business, or I'm a co-owner. Myself and my sister, we're in our own business. Our business is almost a year old. We're a virtual assistant business. And yeah, I actually love cooking, so I would love a new microwave oven.
A boss queen that loves to spend time in the kitchen as well. Well, listen, let's get going with the game. Here's how it works. A mystery a conundrum will come up on screen in which you will have 30 seconds to guess the word, all right? If you think you know the answer, shout out your name after I have given the clue. The contestant who said their name first, if they guess it wrong, then the other contestant will have a chance to answer, all right? The contestant with the most correct guesses obviously wins. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let the games begin. Clue number 1. It's a province in eastern South Africa, and it's the Zulu name, which means where the sun rises.
Nomi.
Nomi, go for it.
Mpumalanga.
Correct, Nomi. Fantastic. 1 point for Nomi there. Here's another one. It's made up of illusions. It's a tough one.
Nomi.
Alzon.
I heard Nomi first.
Magic.
Nomi, go for it.
Oh.
Magic.
Magic. Correct, Nomi, on a roll and out of control. Here's another clue. It's a type of soft Italian cheese made with cream.
Nomi.
Yes, go for it, Nomi.
Mascarpone.
Correct!
I hope I pronounced it right.
Nomi, you know what? You are on a fired up streak over here. Elzan, my dear, come on now. Here's another clue. Hopefully you get this one. Elzan, we use this app for when we get lost and need directions.
Nomi.
I heard Nomi first. Nomi, go for it.
Maps.
Maps, correct. Wow, okay, well, you're getting me...
a bit up in delay.
I know, Elzan, I know. Well, listen, Elzan, let's try this. Let's try this. It's a vehicle that is used to carry more people than a car.
Alzon.
Yes, Elzan.
A minibus.
Correct, Elzan, your first point. Well, it's time for me to announce the winner. Would you like to guess who the winner is? I'll give you a clue. It starts with an N.
Ooh, Nomi?
Nomi, congratulations! Congratulations, you are our winner this morning.
Thank you.
Elzan, you know what? Thank you so much for taking part in our Mystery M game. Well, Nomi, how do you feel?
I'm very excited. I'm gonna start Googling now what I'm going to make in my new microwave oven. My Samsung microwave oven.
The boys need to be fed, and so you need to get thinking
Yes.
fast. And you're going to love that microwave.
Yes.
How's it going to change at least the kitchen experience for you?
Well, I think because I've got 2 boys, they're always hungry, so it's going to help quite a lot to keep their tummies full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how old are your 2 boys, Nomi?
In November, the one is 6 and the other one 9. So yeah, they're
Busy
very
times. Busy times. You've got
Yes.
your hands full,
Busy but
Nomi.
exciting.
Oh, yeah, no, you got your hands full. And now I understand why you're always stocked up with your Super M. Well, listen, Nomi, congratulations. You've been such a great sport.
Thank you for having me.
See, winning is as easy as that with Super M. Remember, there are many more chances to win, right? There are many more M prizes to be won, like Moolah, mobile phones, movie vouchers, and much more. In the Super M, all you need is M competition. Who knows, we could be calling you to take part in our Mystery M Connect. conundrum game next week. It's a lot of fun, and there are 7 different M prizes to be won by simply purchasing the Super M promo pack with the M prize that you want to win. All you have to do is enter by dialing *120 *7837 hash and follow the prompts. And what's going to happen is that the M you pick is the M prize that you could win. And the more you enter, the more chances you have of winning. Do you know why? Because hashtag, all you need is M.
Stand a chance to win moolah, mobile phones, and many more M prizes with Super M. Pick your M prize on your favorite Super M pack. Dial *120 *7837 hash and follow the prompts. The M you pick is the M you could win. All you need is M. Super M Gap Filler.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Now, we are talking relationships on a Monday, and today we have a very interesting question for you on social media. We wanted to know from you, if you had a partner that cheated on you, would you forgive them?
That's such a big question,
It
and I
is a
think
good one.
Mzansi's come through with some beautiful answers. Joe and I have been debating about this the entire morning, but let's see what Mzansi says. And we're starting with Colleen Shanae Solomons, who says, everyone deserves forgiveness, but we have a choice whether we want to stay with that person, and I personally would not stay.
There we go. Bongisiwe says, yes, but I am not staying. Morning.
And then Ray Tumetse, Rama Claudie says, forgiving, yes, but staying with him, no.
I feel like that is the theme for today. Chantal also says yes once, because people make mistakes, but as soon as they make the same mistake twice, it becomes a choice, and choices have consequences.
Yes. I don't know about you, Zoe, but I think I'm starting to agree with Mzansi. I can definitely subscribe to this. We can forgive, but can we forget is the question. Let's find out later on in the show. We will be chatting to Asha Dulab about this and a little bit more of our relationships. But before we do, let's find out what's happening in the news with Tabiso.
Thanks very much, team. 7 o'clock, time for us to take a look at those news headlines. We start off here in South Africa. In an effort to curb violent crime on the Cape Flats, some 200 police officers have been deployed in gang-infested communities. More than 20 people have lost their lives on the Cape Flats since the beginning of the year. And Police Minister Becky Cele said that the additional officers come from different provinces, and how long they will be there hasn't been confirmed. But their presence has already been seen and received really well, in the sense that it's seen
positive results. Cele said although it would be hard to totally eradicate crime, visibility in crime hotspots is important. Some good news for South Africa's My Octopus Teacher last night, which won the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, the BAFTA, for Best Documentary Film. The event was broadcast from London's Albert Hall without an audience because of COVID-19 restrictions. And the film, directed by Pippa Elrich, as well as James Reed, documents a year spent by filmmaker Craig Foster forging a relationship with a wild common octopus in a South African kelp forest of Simonstown. My Octopus Teacher has also been nominated for an Oscar. Oscar night is due to be held on the 25th of April. In international news, the funeral of Queen Elizabeth of Britain's husband, Prince Philip, will take place next week, Buckingham Palace has said, also announcing a stripped-back ceremony due to coronavirus restrictions and a return for exiled royal Prince Harry. Royal officials said that the funeral would be televised and is to take place at 3 p.m. South African time on Saturday in St. George's Chapel in the Windsor Castle. It will be preceded by a national minute of silence in honor of the late Duke of Edinburgh, who died peacefully on Friday morning, aged 99. Libyan Prime Minister Abdulhamid Dbeibeh and a delegation of ministers will visit Turkey today for the very first time since taking office last month. Libya's new unity government was sworn in on Monday the 15th, or rather March the 15th, from two warring administrations that had ruled eastern and western regions, completing a smooth transition of power after a decade of violent chaos. Turkish state media reported that cooperation on energy and health would be discussed, along with the resumption of projects by Turkish companies that were halted because of the war. And next, yet another giant black mamba on a beach near the Garden City. The last thing a Durban fisherman expected to spot out at sea near Glen Ashley Beach in KwaZulu-Natal on Thursday was a huge black mamba. And that's precisely what set in motion a frantic race against time by Durban snake catcher Jason Arnold to save the 2.3 meter long female black mamba. Take a look at that. It's scary, isn't it? Now, the second of its kind to wash up on a beach there in recent months. Scary, at least for me. But Arnold said when he arrived, the mamba had literally just been washed up on the sand, and this made his job of snaring it quite easy as it was exhausted from all the swimming. And he gently held its head facing downwards, allowing gravity to drain that much swallowed water and sand. And he said every time it exhaled, he could literally feel the gurgling water in its lung vibrate. And once all the water had drained, he bagged it in a large duvet cover, and Arnold took the mamba home and will keep it under observation before releasing it into a suitable habitat away from humans. Thank you for that, Arnold, and asked whether he considered offering the deadly serpent mouth-to-mouth resuscitation after its near-drowning experience. He replied, I think maybe not. And that's where we leave it for now. Here's what's happening in the world of sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tobias. Well, let's kick it off with cricket. Not the best news from a South African perspective, as Pakistan recorded a 4-wicket victory over South Africa in the first T20 international match at the new Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Saturday. The Proteas won the toss, chose to bat first, posting 188 for 6. Seemed like a competitive total. Pakistan reaching 189 for 6, though, with opener Mohammad Rizwan smashing a brilliant innings, 74 from just 50 deliveries. The second T20 match between South Africa and Pakistan will kick off at 2:30 this afternoon. And staying with cricket, the 2021 Indian Premier League season kicked off this weekend with victories for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, the Delhi Capitals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. Virat Kohli's RCB, they claimed a 2-wicket victory over the defending champions, the Mumbai Indians. South Africa's AB de Villiers hitting 48 from just 27 deliveries. In our other IPL results, the Delhi Capitals beat the Chennai Super Kings by 7 wickets, and the Kolkata Knight Riders, they claimed a 10-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. There'll be one IPL fixture to look out for today. That's as the Rajasthan Royals will take on the Kings 11 Punjab, and that kicks off at 4 p.m. Then some thrilling rugby locally as CUT, they made it 3 wins and 3 Varsity Cup matches after beating UFS's Shimlas 3-1-24 in Pretoria yesterday. So CUT currently topping the table on 14 points. Now, other Varsity Cup results, reigning champions Marties, they edged out Wits 19-13. UWC, they beat NMU Madiba's 47-40 in a very high-scoring affair. UP Tuks and UCT's Ikes also made it 3 victories in 3 matches after recording wins over NWU and UJ, respectively. Tuks beating the Eagles 33-15 and Ikes claiming a narrow 39-34 win over Wits. The Varsity Cup Round 4 action will commence on the 22nd of April. And staying in the country for football, AmaZulu FC continue the charge. They've moved up to 2nd in the Premier Soccer League standings. That was after seeing off Stellenbosch FC 1-0 at the Johnny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch on Friday. Now the PSL results, Cape Town City FC broke an 8-game winless run that was beating SuperSport United 3-0 in Cape Town. Then Jakuma did themselves a massive favour, beating TS Galaxy 2-0. Golden Arrows and Blown Celtic, they had to share the spoils with a 1-0 draw. And then Swallows recorded a 1-0 win over Black Leopards to get back to winning ways. And then finally staying with football in the English Premier League, log leaders Manchester City finally dropped points after suffering a 2-1 defeat to a 10-man Leeds United at the Etihad Stadium, a massive shock result. This was only City's 4th defeat this season, in fact. Defending Premier League champions Liverpool, they looked back to their best again, 2-1 win over Aston Villa. Jesse Lingard then and continued to show this amazing form since his move to the club. He scored twice for West Ham United as they beat Leicester City 3-2 on the night. And then Manchester United put on a brilliant second half performance coming from behind to beat Tottenham Hotspur 3-1, and Arsenal beat bottom of the log Sheffield United 3-0. But the race is certainly on for those coveted UEFA Champions League spots for European football. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's take one more look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
And we continue with some more beautiful sunrise images received from our viewers. Farah Patel shared this stunning image of the sun rising in the horizon over the ocean. Falani Feli from Mokopane shared this stunner of a view. It looks like it's going to be a hot day with plenty of sunshine ahead. And your area today, Falani, will reach a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Please do continue to interact with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We really love seeing how you start your day. And while we love seeing the various parts of South Africa, we also love exploring and learning about the different cultures and countries internationally. So this morning, if you have any viewers tuned in this morning, we report on the weather from Harare. That's the capital of Zimbabwe. The city sits on a plateau that at an elevation of 1,483 meters above sea level, and its climate falls into the subtropical highland category. A mostly sunny and pleasant day is forecast for Harare with a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. And to bring you some international news, there has been another explosive event at a volcano on the Caribbean island of St. Vincent, with power outages and water supplies cut off. The first sign that an eruption was imminent came on Thursday evening when a lava dome became visible on La Soufrière. The volcano subsequently erupted on Friday, blanketing the island in a layer of ash and forcing some 16,000 people to evacuate their homes. The volcano has since spewed dark ash plumes 6 kilometers into the air, and residents in Barbados, nearly 200 kilometers to the east, have also been urged to stay indoors. White-colored dust has covered buildings and roads around the island, including the capital, Kingstown. Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves said water supplies to most of the island had been cut off and its airspace closed because of the smoke and thick plumes of volcanic ash moving through the atmosphere. The volcano had been dormant since 1979, but in late 2020 it started rumbling and spewing steam and smoke. Scientists warn that eruptions could continue for days or even weeks to come. Now here back in South Africa, let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, your day will start off with a low of 12, a high of 28. Mbombela 16, 30. Pretoria 14 with a high of 30. Johannesburg sunny reaching a high of 28. Mahikeng 13, 31. Klerksdorp 14 with a high of 32. Kimberley 14, 32. Bloemfontein 10 reaching a high of 31. If you're in Richards Bay, a low of 21 with a high high of 34 today. Partly cloudy conditions in Pietermaritzburg with a high of 30. Durban 21 reaching a high of 28. Mthatha 14 reaching a high of 30. Cloudy conditions in East London today, 19 reaching a high of 25. Cradock 13 reaching a high of 35. Gqeberha 17 reaching a high of 24. Partly cloudy conditions in George today with a high of 24. Cape Town partly cloudy reaching a high of 23. Worcester 15 reaching a high of 30. In fact 35. Sutherland 11 with a high of 29, and Uppington, your low for today is 18 and your high 36 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll have a final update shortly after 8 o'clock.
It's a beautiful Monday morning and the perfect type of day to be inspired here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You know what we like to do on a Monday is to bring all of the love, all of the warmth, all of the inspiration in the form of hashtag Gospel Mondays. Now, this next man you're about to meet, he is known as the Gospel Dude because of two things: the charisma, yes, the swag, okay, maybe the third thing as well, gospel music as well. And he's a gospel music minister, award-winning singer and songwriter, Sbu Banda, who uses his musical talents to spread the word of God. That's what he does all the time. And Sbu's traditional flair reminds us of the many, many South African hits, those gospel music gems that we all grew up listening to, that we so love. And he's flown in to the Expresso show to be our Gospel Monday performer this morning. And we're so delighted to host him. Ladies and gents, everybody, please, a warm Monday morning Expresso welcome for Sbu Banda. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
Sbu, welcome. First of all, I mean, they certainly aren't lying when they talk about the swag, because look at you. You're the first gospel artist I've seen that's got a personalized sweater, because that SB must surely stand for Sbu Banda, I'm guessing.
That's right.
Welcome. So good to see you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have church on the Monday.
Oh, you're taking us all the way to church. But you know what's so beautiful about this entire experience of having you here is to get to hear your personal testimony.
That's right.
To why you've chosen to use gospel music as a genre to really just impact people's lives. You've got a personal story of how you were able to fight alcohol abuse and all of that.
Yeah.
You can laugh about it today, but it's been such a journey. Tell us more about it.
Well, to start with, my name is Sbu Banda, gospel artist, and I don't just love singing gospel. It's actually something that I was born into. My mother and father met in a church choir, and my dad was playing the piano, and my mother was the lead singer, and they fell in love, and that's how we were born. And so I was born into this thing. But obviously growing up in the church, and then went to Joburg, and that's when I got the freedom.
Oh,
and,
big city lights,
it started
big city lights.
It started happening, and got the friends, and then we started going out, you know, and then I started tasting, you know, trying things out. And I got actually trapped. You know, with alcohol, and I also got trapped with dagga. Man, that thing felt somehow, I don't want to get into that, but then it got to a place where it was too much, because I would now start bunking classes.
Functioning.
Yeah. It was not proper, because it was now abused, and I think that's where I missed it. But one Christmas morning, I went home. And when I got home, and I actually wanted to drive, you know, when you're home and it's Christmas, it's family time.
Yes.
So there was a little small city golf that my parents had bought for me.
Now this is in Mpumalanga.
Yeah, this is in Mpumalanga.
Yeah.
I'm home for the holidays.
Nice.
And they bought this car for me. Now I'm about to drive, go see my grannies and my aunties, and I'm already high. I was already under the influence, you know, and my mother noticed, and she was like, no, you're not yourself. We can't let you drive. What's happening? And that was actually the first time they realized, and they noticed that I was drinking. And remember, these are church people, these are pastors, and they were so devastated, and they couldn't let me drive. And I went into my room, guess what? First thing I do is sit behind my keyboard in the room and I start playing gospel songs
And
under the
then you
influence.
found some saving in that moment.
Yeah.
And now you're able to share it through music. What do you hope to be able to sort of impart? What message are you looking to share with people through your music specifically?
Well, basically, it's to say that God is good, God is able, nothing is impossible. Don't give up. And if you can think about it, if you can see it, you can have it, because it is God that gives seed to the sower. So God gives you dreams as a seed. God allows you to actually dream of things, but He puts them in your heart first, so that you can conceive it, you can think of it, and if you can think of it, you can have it. So nothing is impossible.
And think of it, dream of it, pray for it, you can have it. What you've gone out and had as you went and won that big award at the Crown Gospel Music Awards. I mean, you know, in a category alongside the likes of Benjamin Dube, Dumi Mgokstad there as well. I mean, it was a big category. Tell me about that.
Well, that actually got me, I don't know, I didn't actually expect it. It's actually my 5th crown, because I've been trying for Best Male for a long time.
So you won Best Male?
Best Male.
Wow.
And this was my 5th one. And I've started entering the crown since 2011.
Wow.
I started getting nominated in 2013. Started winning in 2016. And when I got nominated for Best Male, that on its own felt like an achievement. Not even mentioning getting to win it. There was something else, man. I didn't see it coming. Like you're saying, for example, Bishop Benji is my mentor.
Yes.
You know, that I had featured even in my previous album. He's the father of the gospel industry. And now being in the same category as him, that on its own,
it's an achievement.
It's an achievement.
Well, you know what? You are such a huge inspiration, and I'm so happy that we get to enjoy and experience all of this in you this morning. It's going to be lots of fun, like you said. You're taking us to church, and that means for you at home, don't go anywhere, because award-winning, and he's won many awards, as you can hear, and a singer and songwriter, Sbubanda, has prepared 3 incredible performances for us to take in this morning. And of course, we can guarantee it's exactly what you need to get into a brand new week. So stick around, and we'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. Expresso live on S3. We're opening up to some inspiration on this beautiful Monday. It's a Monday, and it means it's time for us to chat to one of our regular Sunrise contributors because, you know, this morning we have the pleasure of being joined by Mrs. Shalan Singh from Johannesburg, who loves to send us beautiful sunrise photos for our weather report. Shalan, good morning.
Namaste, good morning.
Namaste, Shalan. It's so good having you in the studio. Thank you for spending some time with us. And I've got to ask you before we get into the good stuff, when did you even start watching the show and why?
So I think I started watching right from the very beginning. And the reason was that I was interested to see how the show progressed, and given the South African diversity that we have, I quite enjoy the fact that you're inclusive of all our cultures.
And that's true, and I think that's the beauty of the show. It's the magic of the show, is getting to see everyone represented in that way, because we've all got something so unique to add and to bring. But you've watched the show for all of these years, Shalan. What are some of the standout moments and memories that you have over the years of the show, and what are some of your favorite segments that keep you coming back for more?
So I enjoy the cooking segments a lot. The movie reviews are quite interesting. The travel segments are nice as well. And of course, the competitions. Hopefully one day I will win one of them.
Also, I got to say also, thanks for that shout out for JP, because he's in the studio and I can see him smiling. He will be on later. So thank you for giving him some love too. But it's been so cool. And for me, I think the most important thing is that you sending in sunrise pictures, and we love it. And we can't thank you enough for it. So seeing all our viewers' pictures always gives that little warm smile on our face. But do you have, like, because for me, I was blown away by those pictures. I don't know about you.
Yes, no, but Shalan's pictures are incredible. They're incredible.
Are you a professional photographer? Because I can't see why not. Wow.
I don't have any formal training at all. We just capture Mother Nature at her best. However, I cannot take all the credit. My 12-year-old and my 10-year-old daughters, Arya and Aarti Singh, they took some of the pictures, and they seem to have a better handle on my mobile phone than I do. We just feel blessed daily to be able to see each new sunrise and know that we have a new day that we can do our best with.
And such stunning photos you take, and it's a total family affair.
Team Shalan,
Team Shalan Singh, the Singhs and their photography, their sunrise pictures. Oh, well, Shalan, you know what? We've loved connecting with you this morning, but of course, we're not going to let you go without asking you for maybe a bit of a weather update. What is it looking like in your part of the country this morning?
Sure, not a problem. Today, we are in Johannesburg.
Hey, this is
Hey, Said to have plenty of sunshine, and will reach a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius from a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius.
Stunning. Thank you for that. So typical of all of our young ones during our Zoom calls, right?
Looks like she's just about to get ready for school.
Who is that young lady there that's just stepped into the mix?
That's my youngest daughter, Aarti.
She is so precious.
Is she getting ready for school? Looks like she had a school shirt on.
I think she's trying to tell me that we need to go right now.
I love that. I love that. Well, hopefully this has inspired all the other kids out there who spend time with their parents who are on Zoom calls. When it's time to go or to do something or time to eat, just step into the camera and just be like, hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Shalan. You are fantastic. We love your pictures. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Namaste.
Namaste. You love it, eh?
Oh, that was so cool, man. Thank you so much, Shalan. Perfect, like, typical Zoom. You gotta have someone if your kid is there. Absolutely beautiful, man. The sunrise appreciated from our viewers really do continue. Samoya Kidia said it best, I think. She said, let the morning sky shade be your favorite color. I love that.
Beautiful is that quote. Now, as you know, we love seeing your sunrise
We
pics
do.
every morning, and we've asked you last week to share your best ones for the chance to win yourself a super suave Nespresso travel mug. Now, we received so many incredible entries, and our first winner had been selected.
Yay, man. So a massive congratulations, drum roll, please, for Sarah Esso. Well done, Sarah. Hopefully we're pronouncing it right, Sarah or Sarah. Thanks so much for sending in what can only be described as a spectacular sunset. Unfortunately, she isn't able to join us this morning, but she said she took this photo at the Madikwe Game Reserve. Oh, I miss the bush. That's, of course, in the beautiful Northwest Province.
Oh, and they had just set off on a morning game drive, and the sun was peeking out behind the clouds, bathing the bush in a golden glow. Sarah says the reason why she loves a good sunrise is because it makes her feel alive, energized, and reminds her what a beautiful country we live in.
Oh, man, she also told us that she can't wait to share her first sunrise cuppa in her Nespresso travel mug with her husband because they're both coffee addicts. Here, you're going to fit right in our studio. We hope you enjoy it and can't wait to see more epic shots. We really do appreciate the sunrises that you've sent in, and that was a special one. Sure.
It really was. So keep clicking away and send us your favorite sunrise pic. Who knows? Maybe yours will be the hashtag Nespresso sunrise winner next week. Make sure to post your best sunrise pic to the competition post that's on Expresso's Facebook page, and remember to use the hashtag Nespresso sunrise. The competition will be closing on the 21st of April, and those T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Good luck.
Here we go. These are ours.
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment. Because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso. What else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Well, it was the 74th British Film, well, in fact, the British Academy Film Awards, also known as the BAFTAs, which is much easier to say. And JP Sebastian, were you up all night watching? I know he did.
No, I knew if I had to try and say what BAFTA stands for right now, my brain would fall out of my mouth.
Academy Film
and
Awards.
Television Arts.
Oh, dear.
Well, look, we're only talking about film. So, yeah, let's move on.
Let's take a look. Some great nominations coming through, but you're here to be a bit of a spoiler alert and give us the winners.
Yeah. Although this wasn't so deep in the dark hours of the morning, this was 10 p.m. last night at the set.
That was late.
But the I'm sorry, Granny. The shame. What's so great about the BAFTAs for me is that they really brought out the diversity. They were really ashamed, obviously, of BAFTA So White scandal that happened like previous year, and I think enough people threw statues into the river for them to actually put in some serious changes. Brought in a sixth nominee, actually, in fact, or up from 5. And so let's look at Best Supporting Actor. Daniel Kaluuya, once again, is carrying the torch for Judas and the Black Messiah. Lakeith Stanfield getting no luck so far, even though he's a lovely actor himself. But obviously, Daniel Kaluuya though he has picked up enough awards already. Will he get it for the BAFTAs? We will see.
Keeps getting those nods.
And Barry Keoghan is a magnificent young actor. I'm so happy for this guy that he's escaped the noose of like being thrown into superhero movies immediately. He's doing such small, artful things for the longest time. But here he is in Calm with Horses playing the fantastic villain. Really great job that he does here, and I look forward to everything he does in the future. In fact, it's a superhero movie he's up to. Yeah, it's Eternals, by the way, with Chloe Zhao, who's directing that. But nevertheless, Alan Kim from Minari, who all I want to say is that this little man was 6 when he was making this movie, and was asked who is his favorite actor of all time, who he'd love to act with. Sonic the Hedgehog is what he answered, without a heartbeat missed between. So everyone's falling in love with him, and he's the heart and soul of the movie Minari itself. Leslie Odom Jr. did a magnificent performance of A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke, obviously who he plays in One Night in Miami. Not picking up any gold just yet, but man, the dude's got pipes. What a great voice. So picking up a nomination there, rightly for, and put in again, all the way for One Night in Miami. You don't see the other actors coming up, even though they're fantastic too. Clark Peters, I'm so happy about, because I miss all my dudes from The Wire. There's such a great TV show, one of the most revolutionary TV shows of all time, and then those dudes just didn't get acting jobs for who knows what reason, but he's so magnificent. And interestingly, here he nudges out Chadwick Boseman for supporting in The Five Bloods, and he's representing in this nomination. And finally, Paul Racy, who is, this is an incredible story for a guy. I should have checked his age. I'm sorry, but you can tell the dude's like as old as the hills.
I feel like that's added age there.
40 years this man has been acting, and it's like small joints, grungy theaters and whatnot, and finally he gets a big role, and finally even an Oscar nomination coming up soon, but here gets nominated for BAFTA. Does a fantastic job of doing sign acting, American Sign Language. Should be really fascinating to see when it comes to South Africa Sound of Metal.
Amazing. So who is the winner? Should we put out a little drum roll?
If you like, sure.
There we
Bongos, djembe. And the winner, once again, Daniel Kaluuya takes it for Judas and the Black Messiah. The dude is so good. The dude is so beloved. What was your first brush with him? Was it Black Panther? You played...
Yes, for me it was. But I mean, just talking all the awards with you, his name keeps popping up. So well done.
Guy's got such a bright future ahead of him, from Sicario to Black Panther to, well, the list goes on. And yeah, Judas and the Black Messiah will be out in SA next week. Who knows?
Oh, exciting.
So yeah, very, very exciting.
Let's shift the focus to the ladies for BAFTAs for the Best Supporting Actress.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to have to see the spelling of this, because this lady's got a strange name. It actually has a V in it, if you'll believe that, because she's Irish, and Irish people have fascinating names. That's Niamh Algar, who is the, you'd think it's Niamh or something like that. Niamh plays the girlfriend who's desperately trying to pull the boyfriend back from the brink of going to the dark side of gang life. And so it's this tense, like, love-hate, almost frustration with the guy who she's desperately trying to save, and plays that part fantastically. Kausa Ali is another little sweetie. She was 16 when they were shooting Rocks. This thing's a bit of a phenomenon. Critics are going crazy for it. And again, she's playing this kind of like quiet character who knows that something's going on with her friend, which is really sophisticated kind of thing for a young person to play. Holding back the whole time until she has to explode and be like, you need help. Let me reach out a hand. So fantastic part that she played there. Maria Bakalova, Borat, of course, has been picking up all the noms for Borat. Sacha Baron Cohen has been enjoying Trial of Chicago 7, but this lady seems to be having, seems to have a bright future ahead of her. I've not seen it yet. I don't know how good a second one could be. That's a cupcake.
But if you eat a cupcake like that.
Method acting, fantastic thing. Nevertheless, Dominique Fishback is the real life partner of, well, obviously the actress who played the partner of Fred Hampton and played it magnificently. Again, it's this tension of, I'm about to be the mother to your child, and you want to be a radical revolutionary, a socialist who's been hunted down by the FBI. So yeah, more tension. In fact, there's so many tense roles for women desperately trying to pull people back from the brink. Again, Ashley Madekwa, who plays a mother who, and this sounds like a story that would really resonate with South Africans a lot, has a son who she's just trying to keep in line in the sort of blue-collar life that she's desperately trying to live, work a job, but also keep him away from the life of drugs, and does that fantastic too. And finally, Yoon Ya-jung, who won obviously last for SAG, and surprise, surprise, the winner was...
Drum roll, please.
Yoon Ya-jung for Minari. Once again for the BAFTA. It's so great. Like I said, representation is coming out. BAFTA's really actually making an effort. I don't want to get too, excited about these kind of things. But, yeah, that's our winner for Best Supporting Actress, Yoon Ya-jung.
Oh, there we go. Well, JP Sebastian's not going anywhere. We've got more BAFTAs to unpack, so stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Yes, you do want to make sure that you stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show because you are in for a treat on this beautiful Monday morning. It's hashtag Gospel Mondays. We're bringing all the feel good to your living room. Sbu Banda joins us this morning, multi-award winning artist with a whole range of songs prepared just for you to perform on the show this morning. And this one is called Yebo no Ameni. Shaindo yako baba.
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Yebo no ameni. Ithi yebo no ameni. Izethembiso zakho azikuduki. Singuyebo hayi no ameni. Hayi. Ithi yebo 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 no ameni. Yeah. Ithi yebo no ameni. Izethembiso zakho azikuduki. Singuyebo no ameni. Oh yebo yebo yebo. Shando
Yes, and that is how you do it. That's how you step into a brand new day, step into a brand new week. Sbu Banda, you're fantastic, man. Setting the tone, setting the scene for this beautiful Monday. What did you think of that performance? Let us know on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. That hashtag is Expresso Show. You, a man of God, taking us all the way to church on the Monday. Love your work. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, it's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. JP Sebastian is back with us as we unpack the BAFTAs. Now it's time for us to shift our focus to Best Leading Actor, who walked away with the winner. But of course, we need a first look at the nominations.
And the nominees are... Our director, please. JP's brain has gone flat. Please show the nominees. Good grief. It's so desperately behind that I'm going
There we go.
Thank you so much.
Actor. First one, a name that we are familiar with.
Riz Ahmed. Obviously people are familiar with Star Wars: A Rogue One story, but seriously, you need to watch this guy in The Night Of, was a miniseries that he was fantastic in, and I can't wait to see The Sound of Metal. Said it 3 times before already. I know that this movie is going to make me chunk, so really look forward to it. A guy who gradually is losing his sense of hearing when all he loves to do is play music, and it's the only thing that makes him feel like he wants to stay alive. Speaking of stay alive, man will be alive forever, I think, in people's hearts and memories. What an incredible actor. Chadwick Boseman has won now the SAG Award and has also won the Golden Globe for this role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Dude acted enough for 5 lifetimes. What an incredible guy, and so obviously chances are high, but this is such a tight, fantastic field. Adarsh Gaurav is... this is another thing that I said about, I was saying about the Globes earlier. I'm so pleased with the way they're actually making an effort with diversity, but at the same time, small little picking in nobody movies that get no kind of budget, no kind of airtime. They said, stuff it. We don't have to give everything to, say, Avengers-sized movies.
Blockbusters.
Indies are getting such great representation. In fact, it's 21 people getting nominated for the first time, including Adarsh Gaurav for The White Tiger.
There we go.
21 first-timers. Anthony Hopkins is not a first-timer, of course, and yeah, he's playing fantastically. The father, a man suffering with Alzheimer's, the distrust of people trying to, mess with me just to take my property, and anyway, he just takes you through this fascinating, complex rigmarole from the perspective for change, not just of us spectating, what is Alzheimer's like, but what it must feel like to be in those shoes. Mads Mikkelsen, people love him, obviously, for the TV show Hannibal.
Yes.
He's such a strange actor, and takes all these very, very fascinating parts here. He plays a man who believes that he might gain some sort of confidence or control in his life if he keeps his alcohol level just peaked at 0.05%. So it's, again, this delusion that you can sort of have your cake and eat it, or in his case, cocktail. Mads Mikkelsen is a fantastic actor. Tahar Rahim turned one of the most amazing performances I have seen all year for the Mauritanian. Obviously, I chatted with him in an interview you probably saw, and he said one of the best things I think I've heard about acting in a long time. It fascinates me. It's so elementary, but the dude said if you cannot transplant your character from one genre to another, if he can't put his character from the Mauritanian into, say, an episode of Friends, then you haven't made a fully formed human being, and fully formed it is to the max. But who is the winner? Drum roll.
Go. Let's get that drum roll.
Best leading actor. The British could not resist. It had to be Anthony Hopkins. Sir Anthony Hopkins for The Father. Such a magnificent performance, and it speaks for itself. So I'm going to let it speak for itself. How about a clip from The Father?
Let's see it.
you? What did you do for a living?
Oh, I was a dancer.
Were you?
Yes.
Dad,
What?
you're an engineer.
What do you know about it? Yes, tap dancing was my specialty.
Really?
You seem surprised.
Yeah, a little bit.
Why, don't you believe me, or you find that difficult to imagine?
Of course, it's just I've always loved tap dancing.
You really? Wow, I'm still great at it. I'll show you. Aye! Jolly good. Why are you laughing?
Sorry.
I know who she reminds me of.
Who?
It's Lucy when she was younger.
Lucy?
Yeah, my other daughter. That's right. There's a resemblance, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Her unbearable habit of laughing inanely. I had you there, didn't I?
I really want to see that movie.
Intense. Speaking of Hannibal Lecter, he just turns from lovable father into the aggression that is, I think, part and parcel of going through Alzheimer's. But yeah, worth a watch, definitely.
Worth a
Best leading
watch,
actor for BAFTA.
Well done. Now let's quickly shift our focus to the best leading ladies.
Oh man, I
Best
wouldn't want
leading
anything behind. So the best leading actresses, if you please, lady director, for my poor, terrible memory. Buki Bakre is the lead of Rocks, which people are calling a phenomenon. Coming-of-age movie that's an immigrant story, that's a sisterhood story. I think that every woman, young, old, doesn't matter what your age, needs to see this, and you can see that the role that these little kids turn has been just called remarkable by critics. I hope for a very bright future for Radha Blank. Directed as well as wrote the 40-year-old version, which is an interesting attempt at a character, a woman to lift herself into a totally new walk of life, a new career as a rap artist in her 40s, and all the sort of trouble that goes with that. Looks quite interesting, fascinating, entertaining. Lena Waithe was the executive producer there. Vanessa Kirby does all the screaming. She is Vus in Pieces of a Woman, and yeah, clearly knows exactly what she's doing. Sometimes you just need someone to just shout, I suppose. Not everything can be quiet and restrained acting. Nevertheless, Frances McDormand is the most restrained that we've got here. She is a quiet powerhouse who is, obviously, we've loved her in Fargo, we've loved her in everything else that she's done in her past. Nomadland, she turns an amazing performance, no doubt. I'm sure she's going to get the award for this. Wunmi Mosaku for His House, Sudanese refugees story. That's 3 refugee stories in the BAFTAs. And again, heartfelt, emotional, heart-wrenching, heartstrings, etc., etc., all those hard words. Alfred Woodard for Clemency. A lot of people didn't notice that this movie was, you know, sort of under the radar. The seasoned actor doesn't need any mention from JP. So I'll tell you what, I'm just going to mention who the winner is, and that was Frances McDormand for Nomadland. I said they should just give her own category at this point. So she should just be able to walk in and walk out with however. She should get a dispenser like you get at sweet shops and just pour BAFTAs out into her hands. She's
But you
an
know,
amazing
the thing
actress.
is, you've hyped her up throughout the awards season, and I feel like is this her first one she's winning or walking away with, or her second?
Oh, so this is interesting, I suppose. This would be her first.
Yeah, it's her first.
For
You keep
someone who's
hyping
got
her
so
up, that
much
needs
hype.
her own category.
No, that's an entire,
So the
just a
BAFTA is
legacy.
the first one.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. So does she have a chance at the Oscars? Who knows? We'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, JP Sebastian's not going anywhere. We are speaking award ceremony. We're talking the BAFTAs. And speaking of awards, the next recipe deserves to be named a winner in every culinary category. Here are the boys.
Made with love by Clover.
You are going to want to give it awards when you have tasted all of this creation we're about to create in the kitchen here. From our loved ones to ourselves and to our health. Each of the 3 deserves triple protection. And that's why today we've got that covered. We are bringing it to you. This creamy and immune-boosting chicken soup will do 3 things. 1, protect our immunes from the inside, which is the perfect place to start, from the inside. 2, give us a nutritional boost. And 3, give us that warm on the cooler days, so warmth on colder days.
It's comfort in a bowl, my friend.
It's comfort in a bowl.
I'm loving this.
I love that.
Double purification for less bacteria, deep cooling. It's to preserve the nutrients, ultra clean packaging, no contamination.
80 quality tests that it goes through.
Awards. Okay, let's get going.
It's award season right here because we're making a winter dish. This is comfort in a bowl. As I said, we are making the most beautiful chicken stock inspired obviously by our full cream fresh milk from Clover. That's going to kind of form the body of it.
Yeah.
But this is a great base for creating a chicken stew or chicken soup. First of all, you will hear the lovely sizzling sound. I've got the chicken.
I can hear and smell it.
So I always turn skin down because you want that skin to caramelize and the fats to drip out. The flavor is in the skin, the flavor is in the bone. So we've got our thigh pieces here with bone in because we want that the flavor to really come out.
Do you say the flavor's in the bone because you know that I also like to chew
chow
my
your bones? I know you
bones.
do. No, but it is. But it's like that with any kind of, if you're gonna make any kind of stew or soup, regardless of the meat, use the bony bits and caramelize it first. You can caramelize it in the oven. You can do it in the pot like this. Get that skin to crisp up so all of those beautiful fats come out. That's going beautifully. And now we can start building up, layering our flavors around that.
Great.
Okay, so we've got our chopped onion. We got some chopped carrots.
Nice.
These will obviously take a little bit longer to cook, so we're putting them in first a little bit earlier, and then lots of celery.
Great.
And this is great if you're struggling with anyone being sick in the household and you need to like revive them.
There is nothing like a soup of that nature, or even like a chicken stew that's going to really just wake you up, even if you were sick. That is bay leaves.
Well done. What did you think they were early?
I thought it was kale. I don't know why in my head I thought when I saw that layer, I was like, oh, we've got some kale.
Some kale. And you know, Chef Clem says put bay leaves in everything. So be liberal here. We've got 5 or 6 leaves going in there. Then we've got some chopped garlic, and quite a bit because you want the flavor to be nice and intense.
Perfect for the season as well. The immune system boosting properties, they're coming through. The ginger is the girl
like
for that.
Like I say, you want to kind of wake up that system, someone who's kind of feeling down in the dumps. This is going to boost the immune system, but it's also going to be kind of give them all those beautiful comfort vibes. And we're going to let this kind of, again, the flavors infuse, let that cook through. And as we are always told by our cooking experts, flavor as you go.
You don't want to throw it all in one go, ne?
Yeah, just layer. Let those mix through, let those flavors all start to infuse. I would let that cook for a little bit longer before adding kind of the remainder of the stuff, but we're going to do that right now. We're going to add 1 cup of chicken stock.
Nice. Oh, great.
Like you can get some really good already made stocks, or you can kind of keep your own stocks from the previous chicken that you broke down.
We've shown you many times here how you can make it in advance and keep it for a really long time and really just throw it into all sorts of different meals. But look, we are getting that Triple Protect Clover full cream fresh milk going in there. And Triple Protect really does ensure that you get superior quality with every litre of your Clover fresh milk undergoing purification, double purification at that, as well as 80 quality tests. I mean, show me any other milk that goes through that. It's got a special cooling technology, and that's great because what it does is that it ensures that it's kept at the right temperature, and of course that ultra clean packaging locks in the freshness that you want to get.
All right, so I'm adding a little bit of flour. I've added 3 cups, incidentally, of our Clover fresh full cream milk, and now a little bit of flour, which will serve as the
cream
agent.
Nicely.
That's going to thicken up.
I love this.
Just a bit more. See, I like things salty, but you know, if you're using a good quality salt, a nice Malden salt, something like this, you know, you can get away with a little bit. Yeah, and it's also it's not too bad for the system. It's not this overly like iodized.
And then you got some peas here. When do these go in?
So that I will add last because they'll cook very quickly.
Okay, I see. So, well, if you want this recipe, it's mouth-watering, as you can see. We've loaded it on our website. Go on there. It's expressoshow.com. There, you're going to find all of the ingredients. Do you see? Yes, all of them, they're all there, as well as the step-by-step guide on how to get that final product. Look at how stunning that looks. I just simply cannot wait. I mean,
it's going to thicken, it's going to be beautiful.
I'm feeling absolutely fine. But like, if I say to you, I'm not feeling entirely well, and you give me that.
Oh, shame.
Do you think that that'll like...
Oh, shame. Are you feeling a little under the weather? Here we go. Here we go.
Thank you. It's made with so much love. If you missed any of the steps involved in making this, thanks, G-Man. You really are my rock star. Please watch this quick recap that we prepared for you. I feel alive now. Thank you.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. It's S3. We are live. It's the Expresso show. And oh, what a magic Monday it's been already. We're kicking the magic on. Let it continue and let the news start right up here with Tubbs. Let's check it out.
Thank you very much, Raul de Monet. Time for us to take a look at your news headlines at 8 o'clock here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Starting off here in South Africa, the Durban University of Technology has extended its student registration deadline to Friday. The announcement comes after chaotic protests at the university led to the closure of its 5 campuses. Students protested against an alleged slow online registration system, and the DUT has also confirmed that remote online learning for first-time enrolling students will commence today. This will ensure that the academic program can successfully conclude within the calendar year. And university management said that the closure of the 5 Durban campuses would continue until further notice. Staying here at home in an effort to curb violent crime on the Cape Flats, some 200 police officers have been deployed in gang-infested communities. More than 20 people have lost their lives on the Cape Flats since the beginning of the year. And Police Minister Becky Cele said that the additional officers come from different provinces, and how long they will be there hasn't been confirmed yet. But their presence has already been seen and met with positive results. Cele said although it would be hard to totally eradicate crime, visibility in crime hotspots is important. In international news, the discovery of a 3,000-year-old golden city that was lost to the sands of Egypt has been hailed as one of the most important archaeological finds since Tutankhamun's tomb. Of course, announcing the discovery, famed Egyptologist Zahi Hawass said that the find was the largest ancient city ever uncovered in Egypt, and the city dates back to the reign of the Amenhotep III, and of course Egypt's most powerful pharaohs, who ruled from 1391 to 1353 BC. And Hawass said that, of course, with all of the pharaohs and all of that coming through, the city was well preserved with almost complete walls and with rooms filled with tools depicting daily life. And now the funeral of Queen Elizabeth of Britain's husband, Prince Philip, will take place next week, Buckingham Palace has said, announcing a stripped-back ceremony due to coronavirus restrictions and the return of exiled Royal Prince Harry. Royal officials said that the funeral would be televised and is to take place at 3 p.m. That's our time, SA time, on Saturday at the St. George's Chapel and, of course, the Windsor Castle. It will be preceded by a national minute of silence in honor of the late Duke of Edinburgh, who died peacefully on Friday morning at the age of 99. And next, sad news from the world of entertainment. The extremely sad news of rapper AKA's fiancée Nelly Tembe's sudden and tragic death has sent shockwaves through the country. Tembe died yesterday morning after an incident at a Cape Town hotel. Police are investigating. According to paramedics, a woman had allegedly jumped from the 10th floor of the hotel. The grieving families of the deceased 22-year-old Tembe and AKA, whose real name is Kenan Phobes, have since released a statement reading, and I quote, "It is with the deepest regret that the Tembe and Phobes families confirm the untimely passing of our beloved fiancée, daughter, sister, and daughter-in-law, Anele Tembe." Meanwhile, on Saturday, much-loved medical doctor and Kaya FM host, Dr. Cindy van Zyl, passed away at the age of 45 after contracting COVID-19
COVID-19. She was a well-known and beloved doctor, radio host, and magazine columnist who offered advice on a range of medical topics, particularly on her Twitter account. And affectionately known as the People's Doctor, Van Zyl became popular by using her medical knowledge to educate social media users on health matters. South Africans raised 1.5 million rand in recent weeks to assist in covering her medical expenses as she spent over 2 months in hospital battling COVID-19. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a final look at what's happening in sports.
Thanks so much, Toby. So let's start with cricket this morning, and unfortunately not the best news from a South African perspective. Pakistan recorded a 4-wicket victory over the Proteas in the first T20 international match at the New Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg on Saturday. The Proteas won the toss and chose to bat, posting 188 for 6. It seemed like a competitive total, but Pakistan reaching 189 for 6 with opener Mohammad Rizwan smashing a brilliant innings, 74 from 50 deliveries. That second T20 encounter between South Africa and Pakistan will take place today, kicking off at 2:30. Then staying with cricket, the 2021 Indian Premier League season kicked off this weekend with victories for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, Delhi Capitals and Kolkata Knight Riders. Virat Kohli's RCB, they claimed a 2-wicket victory over the defending champions, the Mumbai Indians, with South Africa's A.B. de Villiers hitting 48 from just 27 deliveries. In other IPL results, the Delhi Capitals beat the Chennai Super Kings by 7 wickets. And Kolkata Knight Riders, they claimed a 10-run victory over the Sunrisers Hyderabad. There's going to be just one IPL fixture today, and that's the Rajasthan Royals up against the Kings 11 Punjab at 4 p.m. Then bringing it back home for rugby, CUT have made it 3 from 3 in the Varsity Cup. That was after beating UFS's Shimlas 31-24 in Pretoria yesterday. CUT currently topping the table on 14 points. Then other Varsity Cup results gave us the reigning champions Marties edging out Wits 19-13 in a hard-fought affair. UWC, they beat the NWMU Madibas 47-40 in a thrilling encounter. UP Tuks and UCT's Ikes also made it 3 from 3 after recording wins over NWU and UJ respectively. Tuks beating NWU's Eagles 33-15 and Ikes claiming a narrow 39-34 win over Wits. The Varsity Cup round 4 action will commence on the 22nd of this month. Then staying in South Africa for football news, AmaZulu continue the charge. They've moved up to 2nd in the Premier Soccer League standings. That was after seeing off Stellenbosch FC 1-0 at the Dani Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch on Friday. Now other PSL results, Cape Town City FC back to winning ways. They broke an 8-game winless run, in fact, in the league by beating SuperSport United convincingly 3-0 in Cape Town. Then Chakuma FC gave themselves some hope, beating TS Galaxy 2-0. Golden Arrows and Bloem Celtic, they had to share the spoils with a 1-1 draw, and Swallows got back to winning ways as well, recording a 1-0 win over Black Leopards. And then finally in the Premier League, in the UK log leaders, Manchester City finally dropped points. That was after suffering a 2-1 defeat at the hands of a 10-man Leeds United at the Etihad Stadium. This was only City's 4th defeat, in fact, this entire season. Defending Premier League champions Liverpool, they claimed a 2-1 win over Aston Villa. Then Jesse Lingard, who's been in incredible form since moving to the club, scored twice as West Ham United beat Leicester City 3-2. Then Manchester United put in a brilliant second-half performance to come from behind to beat Tottenham Hotspur 3-1, and Arsenal beat bottom of the log Sheffield United convincingly 3-0. That's where we leave our sport for this Monday morning. Let's get one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thanks, G-Man, and thank you very much to all of you, our viewers, for sharing your sunrise views and pictures with us. We simply love to see your part of the country. We really do. We started off this morning with Anita Maharaj from Cape Town, who shared this golden view of the sun rising in the distance. Take a look at that. Oh, beautiful. We received another one, coastal image as well, stunning one. Sun rising over the rocky shoreline from Carol Joy. Thanks, Carol. Farah Patel, Kavodia, shared this stunning image of the sun rising on the horizon sun over the ocean. Beautiful. And last but not least, Felani Progresso Feli from Mokopane also sent us this beautiful, fresh-looking morning of the sun casting a golden glow over the area. Thank you very much for those. We love them. Please do continue to interact with us on the Facebook Expresso page. We really do love to see how you start your day. Now, while we are experiencing and enjoying a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel over in the USA that we have to acknowledge. We wrap up your weather bulletin by journeying to Santa Fe, the capital of the state of New Mexico. It is considered one of the world's greatest art cities due to its many art galleries and installations, and it's recognized by UNESCO's Creative Cities Network, and it's beautiful. Today, the city of Santa Fe will experience times of sun and clouds while reaching a mild maximum of 19 degrees. Now, some 150 farmers and their workers at Ladysmith in the Little Karoo have received drought and humanitarian assistance. South African Water Warriors facilitated the transportation of donations, which included 150 Lucerne bales, 15 tons of maize, a ton of potatoes, 30 tons of water, about 70,000 rand worth of groceries and diesel to the value of 15,000 rand. Now, the region has not had decent rain in the past 7 years, and South Africa's Water Warrior Southern Cape's representative Peter du Plessis said the donations were transported by volunteers from Cape Town, George and Pretoria. He said these volunteers travel to people in need using their own fuel at their own cost and generally do all they can to get help to the farmers. And he added that once they've dropped the donations off, they visit and mingle with the farmers to show that they really truly do care about them and they boost their morale. And du Plessis said that this was often the highlight of their outreaches, and anyone considering help by means of donations or becoming a volunteer can visit the South African Water Warriors Facebook page. They've got all of that information there. Go out and show some support. And now we take a final look at your temperatures. We start off with Polokwane. 12 is your low today, reaching a high of 28. With Mbombela, sunny day today, 16, reaching a high of 30. If you're out in the capital city, Pretoria, 14 is your low, reaching a high of 30, with Johannesburg starting off at 12, peaking at 28. If you're out in Mahikeng, well, your weather today, 13 is your low, reaching a high of 31, with Klerksdorp starting off at 13, peaking at a sunny, warm 32. Kimberley, 14 and 32. Sunny times out in Bloemfontein today, 10, reaching a high of 31. Richards Bay, 21 and 30, with Pietermaritzburg starting off at 16 and peaking at 30 degrees. South Africa's playground, Durban, 21, reaching a high of 28. With Mthatha starting off at 14 and reaching a max of 30 degrees. 25% chance of rain out in East London for you today, 19, reaching a high of 25, with Craddock starting off at 13 and peaking at a high of 35. Gqeberha, 17 and 24, with George at 14 and a high of 24. Cape Town, the mother city, 15 is your low, reaching a high of 23, with Worcester starting off at 15 and peaking at 35. Sutherland, 11 and 29. Last but not least, sunny Uppington today, 18, reaching highs of 36 degrees. And that's where we wrap it for this morning. Let's hear what's happening on social media with Zoe.
Well, something everyone is talking about on social media is, of course, the BAFTAs. JP Sebastian joining us in studio as we have our last couple of winners to look through. I know earlier we did Best Supporting Actor and Actress, we did Leading Actor and Actress, and now we're going to shift the focus to the actual movie.
Yeah, but before we do, you were pleased by the director.
Yes, so Best Director for the BAFTAs went to
Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And that's amazing because there are 4 female directors. That's like a first, obviously, as these award things go, and she's the second female director to win after Catherine Bigelow, which is for The Hurt Locker. In 74 years, second female director. But we're not talking about director year. That's great news for her, nevertheless. Talking about Best British Film. Now there are 10 in this category, so JP's going to motor through. Calm with Horses, again, Barry Keoghan was nominated earlier, and the lady's name is Neve Algar, not Nayam.
Yes.
This looks super interesting. I really want to sink my teeth into this, and looks hyper scary. Very excited about Calm with Horses. The Dig. Carrie Mulligan is enjoying herself in Promising Young Woman, and also enjoying herself in The Dig with Ray Fiennes. Where's that dude been? Remember Red Dragon? He was Gary Francis Dolarhyde in that, and he's just a fantastic actor all around, so put him in anything and I'm happy. I don't know anything about The Dig. Only nomination I see for it. It gets into Best British nomination. That probably is pretty lucky, I suppose, but hey, probably good. The Father, overspoke about this as it is. Olivia Colman actually doesn't get a nomination here, even though she played the Queen in The Favourite. You'd think that the BAFTAs would love her by now, but yeah, obviously it's not a matter of no love. It's just the competition is so strong. But you didn't get to see Olivia Colman nominated, but Anthony Hopkins obviously won for The Father. Next up is His House, and like I said, I'm so pleased that they're actually making an effort not to just. Some of these shows are actually so corrupt. Like in the past, Harvey Weinstein has flown judges, not from the BAFTA, from Golden Globes, to set and said, hey, come, schmooze and whatever, and then that's the way you win votes. However, BAFTA goes, we don't care, we're going to give it to the small ones, including His House, which is a story about Sudanese refugees, the one year about Syrian refugees. Limbo is another tiny movie that maybe might never see the light of day if it weren't for the BAFTAs. God bless them, good for them for putting these in the spotlight. These look really beautiful, and I'm excited about Limbo too. The Mauritanian is one that obviously I've done the work for. We spoke to Jodie Foster, we spoke to Tahar Rahim, and we spoke to director Kevin MacDonald. Woo, what a powerhouse performance this entire movie is. Jodie Foster obviously is not just picking up a check at this point. She's putting her heart, her blood, her soul into everything, and Tahar Rahim did one of the most amazing performances I've ever seen in my life. Mogul Mowgli. Now, Riz Ahmed is also having a good time over there in Sound of Metal. The one where he's losing his sense of hearing. Sorry if I'm just speeding through this.
No, I'm keeping up. Don't worry, go for it.
So, yeah, it's a shame I've muted you. Mogul Mowgli is actually another musician story of Riz Ahmed, and this time he's debilitating thing is an autoimmune disorder, so another heart-wrenching type story that he's dropped himself into. And Promising Young Woman, Carey Mulligan also for The Dig. And Promising Young Woman hasn't actually picked up any awards thus far, aside from Best Adapted Screenplay for Emerald Fennell, who was also nominated for Best Director. Moving on, however, to Rocks, which is like after we've had such beautiful coming-of-age movies for girls, like whether it was Lady Bird or it was 8th Grade, Rocks looks like it's a great sort of like pick-me-up and a big another add-on to this coming-of-age stories that young women deserve, rather than just the cliche, shopping for makeup and whatever, which is your right too. You should do that and enjoy that too, but these girls look like they put all their love into Rocks, and I'm super excited to see that too. I know I'm saying that about all of them, but this is an award show. And then finally, Saint Maud. How often do horrors get a shot at it? Don't worry, you're not going to see anything scaring you. Last time that a huge horror made waves, obviously, was Silence of the Lambs back in 1993 with Hannibal Lecter and Anthony Hopkins won 2 Oscars. Nevertheless, Saint Maud probably doesn't stand a chance here, but it's great to see that they're giving chances to other genres, not just brooding drama kind of stuff. So, the winner of Best British Film was... kind of had to be, I think, Promising Young Woman. I think that they could not resist the like I said, there's all these tiny little baby ones, and it's great that they got this spotlight, but this is a big, not a blockbuster necessarily, but a big deal.
And it's a big movie.
They had to throw in the towel and then give it to the popular one, I suppose. But this was good, and I did enjoy it. Maybe not so happy with the ending. Nevertheless, Promising Young Woman is worth a watch. Moving on.
Let's move on to the BAFTA's Best Film category.
This one's a lot easier.
This is the overall, this is a big one.
Yeah, so not just excluding British and all that kind of stuff. So it's only 5 that they get to choose from for the whole world, and The Father makes its appearance again. Anthony Hopkins, Olivia Colman, masterclasses, one dude who's had decades, and one lady who's only had like 2 roles, and she's knocking out the park. I'm so excited about this woman's future. Even though she's so senior, she's doing so great for herself. The Mauritanian, again, is nominated for Best Film. I had to double check because I was like, did I make a spelling error? No, I'm just happy to see it, I guess. Surprised myself. I made all the graphics and still surprised to see the Mauritanian. Nevertheless, like I said, Tahar Rahim, good grief. Watch A Prophet. A Prophet is what it's spelled like if you want to see more of this dude, and he's on a streaming service right now, but nevertheless. Nomadland, nominated for Best Picture as well, Best Film. Frances McDormand obviously won for Best Leading Actress, Chloe Zhao for Best Director, and it is clearly going to make waves at the Oscars too. Will it make waves at the BAFTAs? We will see soon enough. Promising Young Woman, which also we just saw one for Best British Film. Carey Mulligan's not picking up the award. She's getting the noms, but maybe, who knows, when Oscars come, she missed it, obviously, to leading lady Frances McDormand, but Promising Young Woman is hair-raising, and I suppose similar to the horror thing that I was talking about earlier. And Trial of the Chicago 7, where have you been? Sacha Baron Cohen, no nominations here. Eddie Redmayne's the front of that movie. Shame, Eddie Redmayne, is he a good actor? Yes, he is. But he is. And nevertheless, let's talk about who the winner was, though. Speaking of good actors, and the Best Film Award went to...
I feel like it's between Nomadland and The Father.
You should gamble probably half the time of your life, because it goes to Nomadland is the winner of Best Film of the Year. It's people are calling it a phenomenon, and Chloe Zhao has been told that we're speaking about her as having her own eye. The way we talk about these kind of directors that people get lectured on when they go to film school and all that kind of stuff, Chloe Zhao is forging her own path and her own sort of vision. Nomadland is the exemplar of that. So check it out when it comes to SA this week. we'll see.
Exciting
Actually,
thing.
this Friday. Sorry.
Well, JP is coming back later this week to join us for movies on your Feel Good Breakfast show, but that is our wrap-up of the BAFTAs. Thank you for joining us.
Peace. Thank you for having me.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3, and I feel like we all got the memo dressed in black today. Well, we are talking relationships, and when it comes to what is a non-negotiable deal breaker in a relationship, cheating often comes in at the top of the list. Cheating can shake a relationship to its core and leave the partner who has been cheated on in an emotional turmoil, but also many couples have been able to work through the infidelity to build a solid foundation again. Now today we are asking the question, would you forgive your partner if they cheated on you? Well, we have clinical psychologist Asha Dulap with us in studio to help us discuss this topic, and we're also taking your questions and comments via our Facebook page, so do head on over to social media. A big question today.
Asha, this is a big one. And I mean, for me, there's so many angles and discussions about this. I mean, we've seen on social media, Zoe and I have been chatting about this morning, but for me, I've got to ask the biggest question of it all, and that's got to be trust. I mean, why is it so important in a relationship? I mean, we could speak about it for days, but from the expert, what is your reasoning behind that being such an important thing for a healthy relationship?
It lays the complete foundation for a relationship. It makes someone feel secure, safe, a sense of belonging. You actually feel grounded and rooted in yourself, as well as in the world in general, because trust is not only within a relationship, but generally how we feel in relation to every aspect in our life. And when that is shattered, we can start feeling completely out of sync with ourselves.
And I know trust is such a delicate thing because it can easily be broken.
Yes.
Why is it such a traumatic experience for someone to go through?
It's traumatic because it's a violation of one's complete sense of that safety in one's self and in the world. And it's traumatic because, you know, trust doesn't just happen when we are cheated on. It actually goes back to childhood days when we've experienced a betrayal, because betrayal is actually, there's different forms of betrayal. We have betrayal in the sense of being neglected or being abused or being treated badly, and then ultimately the cheating happens and that becomes the big betrayal. But there's actually been a lot of other betrayals that have broken down that trust way before the actual event of, let's call it, the cheating.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be that physical event, so to speak, when you're speaking about emotional cheating as well, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But then the question I would have is, when we're talking about our partner, if I'm the one that's cheated, what am I putting my partner through? Because in that moment, being the person that's creating that transgression or whatever it might be, I might be caught up in my own box. What am I maybe not seeing when it comes to the damage and the effect I'm putting on my partner, both physically and mentally as well? Because those are two different aspects which are dramatically being affected here.
Yes.
I mean, what would that be to give me someone that was in the box better like insight into that? What am I actually doing to them by cheating?
you are hurting them on a big level. It's a huge betrayal, but it's quite a dual perspective, because on the one hand you've got the betrayal and the hurt, and on the other hand there's also the sense of longing and desire in the person that has betrayed. So it's about looking at yourself and say, what was it for me? What did it mean to the person that I betrayed? But what did it also mean for myself? So it's a dual perspective, and it has to be viewed in both ways, because it can make someone completely lose their overall sense of well-being. It's an inflammatory process in the state of our mind and our heart and our bodies. Our bodies feel uncomfortable. We actually feel so uncomfortable in our whole sense of being when we are betrayed.
Just to maybe add on to that, is it the norm to feel unworthy in that moment? Because you had a commitment, and in that relationship you thought you had, or you thought you ticked the boxes, metaphorically speaking, and now you feel like you've just turned against that. Is it the norm for me to feel that, like physical, like hurt, like it's a pain?
Oh, yes. You will feel unworthy, but you'll also feel insecure. You'll feel anxious. You'll feel troubled. You'll be using a lot of energy to overthink scenarios. So you become quite involved in your head. You become cynical and distrusting of the world. So you are in this debate versus trust versus mistrust. And the only virtue there is to have a sense of hope.
Yeah, and it's not easy. I mean, you know, the person being cheated on, they carry that with them, that mistrust that you mentioned. Now, for someone that is watching and they've had their trust broken, of course, we want to see, is there a way for us to repair that? Asha, I feel like, you know, when we come back, we'll be able to unpack that a little bit more, because we asked on social media for our listeners, our viewers, to share if they've had their trust broken, and all the comments came back and said, you know what, they will forgive, but they won't stay. And that was very interesting. So we will unpack what to do if the trust is broken. How can we repair it? But if you would love to join in on the conversation, would you forgive your partner if they cheated on you? Asha Dulab is not going anywhere today. She's here to help us discuss this topic. And of course, if you have a comment or a question, you can leave it on the Expresso Facebook page.
Get those questions through. And someone else who's not going absolutely anywhere this morning, with 2 more performances for us to set our Mondays on fire, is Bubanda, gospel musician extraordinaire, who's bringing that gospel extravaganza here on your Feel Good Breakfast show on this beautiful Monday. Your next track, sir, is called Ungalahli Temba. Quickly, just tell us, what does that mean? What's the song about?
It means don't give up. It means
don't lose
never
hope.
lose hope. Yeah.
Keep going. Keep fighting. We are all in this together.
We are pushing. We keep pushing.
We're pushing.
That's
Push
right.
on with it. Push on with it.
Let's do this.
Ungalahli Temba mtasekhaya uthi ubhekile, don't give up. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Kukhona abantu abasezinsizini, abangani nabahlobo babajikele, hayi khona thathu Jesu, umhlobo wenene, ungana lonene ngesitsonga, akasoza kulahle. Hayi wena ungalahli themba, yebo Jesu yakuzwa, bambelela sekuseduze uJesu akahluleki, uJesu ukubhekile, hayi ungalahli themba, besuthi yebo uJesu yakuzwa, bambelela sekuseduze lapho uya khona, uJesu akahluleki, uJesu wami ukubhekile. Lalela, kukhona imindeni esezinsizini, ukukhula nokufa kubahlasela, kodwa khumbula uJesu, umhlobo wenene, bakhona johle ngesibedi akasoze kulahle hayi yebo uyabuza usomandla bambelela ujesu akahlulekile ujesu ukubhekile hayi ungalahli bambelela kakarela khomelela baba baba ujesu akahlulekile ujesu ukubhekile ungalahli ithemba mntasekhaya anginandaba ukuthi ubhekene nelifini ngizothi kuwena namhlanje ungalahli ithemba noma ngabe ubhekene nane-life ngizothi wena bambelela noma ngabe uyagula noma ngabe it's COVID noma ngabe it's AIDS noma ngabe it's cancer, I'm here to announce to you today that God is able and God is watching and God is dealing with your situation. Bambelela. You see, you might call it COVID, you might call it AIDS. I'm here to announce to you today that AIDS is the thing. COVID is the name, but the name of Jesus is above AIDS. At the mention of the name Jesus, AIDS must bow. Bambelela, kakarela, komelela. Ungalati. Ungapela maza. Jesu akahlulekile ukubhekile makhona johle ngesibezi akahlulekile ujesu ukubhekile. Hallelujah. I feel like preaching. Glory. Hey, don't you give up.
You're still live, of course. It's S3 and it's your Feel Good Expresso show. And we're still catching up with our resident specialist, it's Asha Delab. And it's Monday, talking about relationships. And today we were asking the question, the big question about would you forgive your partner if they cheated on you? Now we're back with our clinical psychologist, Asha Delab, to unpack this topic some more and weigh in on the conversation and questions and the comments and everything that's coming through on this hot topic that we have right here this morning.
It is a hot topic because it happens time and time again. And you know what, before we left and ended off our last conversation, I wanted to know from you, Asha, you know, for someone that had been cheated on, now what? Where do you start picking up the pieces to make that decision? Do I stay with this partner? Is it a deal breaker, or do we work through it?
So, you know, the Japanese have this term, it's a crisis. You know, you find yourself in a crisis when you're being cheated on, but the crisis in Japanese means both danger and opportunity. So it's really, it's a make or break, but with the individual that has been betrayed, they need to really ask themselves what is it that they really want, because it's a choice for them to make and say, well, can I actually continue and work on this relationship, or is it for me a complete non-negotiable? Very often these things are not spoken about in the initial stages of relationships. We engage in a marriage or relationship, and we're looking at the assets and the finances, but we don't speak about what is really non-negotiable in this relationship for me. And if we had more conversations like those, I think that when that happens, it's very clear.
A very real conversation to have in a relationship, because you might not like the answer here. But another answer which I think is one that we might potentially want to hear is when we ask the question of why. Because, I mean, I'm sure whenever that does happen, apart from the anger and the hurt and the pain, there's the question of, like, why? Our relationship's good. We go out every Monday. We do these routine things. Why did you cheat on me? Like, I don't get it. What is the reasoning behind going through the act of actually doing that thing that we're talking about, like crossing that line? What is the reason and rationality?
All right, so that's a very short question with a very long answer.
With many answers, I could imagine.
But why? I think that there are various reasons why. I think that we as human beings, we are seeking novelty. Novelty is something that's very important in a relationship. So we need to invest in new experiences. And very often as human beings, we also like this familiarity, a sense of comfort. So we go into this stage of mundanity. We actually even sometimes take our partners for granted. I think that we treat strangers far better than the way we treat our partners. The amount of attention that a relationship requires is huge. It's like, and we are juggling balls all the time, and in order to juggle balls, we need to have skill and attention, and this is exactly what a relationship needs. And I'm not sure whether we are, as human beings, giving our relationships the attention that it needs and the appreciation for our partners. But it can happen for various reasons. It also really goes back to our attitude towards relationships, because it's our attitude that then will depict our behavior in relationships. So what is the attitude of someone that is betraying or has the sense of, you know, the cheater?
Very interesting. And you know what, speaking of the cheating, it's never nice being cheated on, and it filters into not just your romantic relationships, but you become mistrustful. So how the person being cheated on, how can they start regaining trust in humanity?
I think that, you know, in humanity, we need to also just have faith in humanity. We come into this world as good people. And I think that we have to see each other as good individuals, but there may come a stage where things come up and the blend changes, and we want to quickly label someone as, or judge someone as the bad person and sort of reduce them to the totality of being the cheater. But, you know, generally they are, in a relationship, they are good parents, or they are good with the business in the families, or so. But we're quick to judge. So I think that we need to just take a step back first, and to look at ourselves and look at our partners without jumping into conclusions too quickly. Yeah, so there's lots that one can do. I think it's important that we need to acknowledge and take responsibility for our actions. trust and forgiving goes hand in hand with having a sense of remorse. There has to be remorse in order for trust to be regained or for relationship to go through a healing process. There has to be some sense of responsibility, and also partners need to openly communicate. Like I said earlier on, it can be an opportunity for enormous growth and involvement in a relationship if it's just channeled correctly.
Yeah, and I think what you're speaking about, I think highlights such a pertinent topic when it comes to relationships, and that's, of course, communication. So ideally, if you had that good communication, you'd be able to highlight this issue before it got to the point where we crossed the line, and hopefully then we can address it and spice up that vibe. But Asha, thank you so much. Obviously, we're heading to the kitchen right now to do something special with our bellies, and we will be catching up a little bit more with our viewers and their concerns on cheating in a relationship. But before we do, let's go fill those bellies.
Look at my judgmental stare. You know, okay. Now for some advice in the kitchen. Check, he's got the same stare. Save me, Chef Clem, save me.
It's the same thing as a cheat meal.
No, it's not a cheat meal, okay?
Oh, okay.
Does Megan know you're cheating on her right now with me? Hey?
No. She even said, like, make sure you bring the pancakes over. I'll tell you about that in a bit.
Okay.
Otherwise, trouble.
Save me, man. I'm so busy. I'm work-wise, I'm busy. Okay, I've got a lot on my plate. I'm juggling a lot of balls.
2 kids.
Work. 2 dogs. Work, flights. It's crazy. I need to feed my family, but I don't have the time. How do I do it?
You've come to the right place.
Yeah.
And Woolies have come through with the eat-in deal.
Boom.
Okay, I'm going to just shimmy over to the right. Just look at this bounty.
That's a bounty.
Of amazingness.
That is a bounty.
It is. It
Gosh.
is. Okay, but let me bring it back and I'll talk to you about it. Okay, so.
Okay.
You pick your main feature elements, right? You're gonna either go schnitzel, iconic. Like
we are having it.
This is schnitzel.
This is my vibe, bro.
Okay,
This
schnitzels,
right now, boom.
Snook fish cakes. This on a toasted knotted bun from Woolies. Is so
sneaky, man.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay. You pick between those two. Then you go pick your sides.
Cool.
Okay. Pick your sides. You can either get the roast veggies, the roasted tomato salad, the baked potatoes, and by the way, they come with a little knob of butter there ready.
So the flavor's ready to roll.
The flavor's there, and then your sauces, because a schnitzel is amazing, right?
Now you got to layer it, bro.
And then you add your favorite sauce, the mushroom, the cheese. Which one are you gonna go for? Is mushroom, cheese, pepper sauce?
Let's do mushroom. Let's do mushroom today.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, how's that?
There we go. So then you've got your mains now. You've picked your sides. I'm going to be generous. I'm even going to give you some roast veggies. Okay?
Okay, please.
And then you still get dessert, Graham. Okay? And when you shop the whole deal, you can save up to 53 Rand.
Really?
Which is amazing. And that's
all together?
All together.
Wow.
Up to the 25th of April. So you can actually go and do this a few times and just like experiment through the range of offerings. Okay, let's talk about the chocolate mousse pancakes.
Come on, man. Do you know what I was thinking to myself just now is if I could eat all of that.
Could you do it?
I think I could.
I think you could.
I think I could have it all.
I have one problem with the chocolate mousse pancakes. Okay?
There's only 4.
There's only 4. They should come in like 16 because it is so good. I'm telling you, once you try this,
no, what you do is you hide those, and then the kids don't get it because it's late in the evening and they shouldn't be having sugar late.
No.
So it's going to give them nightmares. That's what I always tell Jack. No, it's going to give you
nightmares.
Parenting
tips 101 next week. Tune in on Monday. Parenting tips: how to con your kids into letting you have all the good stuff.
The last pancake. Okay, so the air fryer is coming into play.
I just thought about let's just talk about the air fryer. Honestly, it's one of the most insane kitchen appliances you can get, and it helps you. It comes through every single time. It's a kitchen genie, okay? So what you're gonna do is, I do this. You can do your fish cakes or your schnitzels in the air fryer. We know that
you want a
it's
nice
amazing.
crisp,
The crunch is real. But I'm gonna kind of double time this now. So let's just go. Let's do some veggies. Okay.
Cool. And I like that mix of veggies, nice and hearty, beautiful, flavorful.
Chunky.
Yeah.
It's chunky, and that's important. So a little bit of oil goes on there now. And again, because it's air fryer, they need a lot of oil. Salt, pepper, give it a good little mix. You can do the whole bag, of course, but there we go. This goes into the air fryer to do its thing.
Did they have some rosemary already in there? Get out of here.
Because you need the rosemary.
Get out of here.
The rosemary's in there. Okay, air fryer, that's done. Got a bit of seasoning in my pan already. Schnitzels. Again, you can do this in the air fryer. You can do it in a pan. You can do it in the oven. I mean, where can't you do it?
Yeah, exactly. What? You could do it in a tent.
You could do it in a tent?
You could over a skottel. You could do it on a skottel even.
Done, done. Absolutely. Okay. Schnitzels go down. A little bit of extra seasoning on them. They go to the oven. Our oven's off, but just pretend.
Okay.
Pretend. Do your best TV pretend. Oh, it's so hot. We'll take it out there just now and actually put the oven on. Oh, it actually is on.
It's warm. It's,
All right.
It's warm. They're going to be warmed.
It's that. That's it. What are you going to do now? You're going to go to YouTube, watch this morning's episode of Expresso.
I'm going to go get the tips that you gave me yesterday on cooking the perfect thing. No, I'm going to go read. I'm
You're going to go
read my little one his bedtime books.
Done. That's going to go ping just now. That's going to go ding. Bring it together.
Ding.
This gets heated up with your mushroom sauce. It gets poured over. I don't know what more to say besides go and get the deal and then get extra pancakes and just treat yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, with the 50 Rand that you're saving, you can get yourself some extra pancakes. Boom.
Wow.
That's
Actually,
what I'm saying.
yes,
That's
you
what I'm
found
saying.
The hack. This is, honestly, it's that simple. And like you can see, it looks like an absolute feast.
It really
and it
is.
really
What did
is
you
a great
call
way
it?
to...
A bounty.
It's a bounty.
It's a bounty. That is beautiful. You've got all the... it's nutritious. It's wholesome. It's delicious. There's quantity. That's great.
Quantity, quality. Do you want some pancakes?
I really want to taste
Look,
one.
I'm also
Just a
doing this
little
intentionally because I do know that as soon as this segment ends, everybody's going to be
Yeah,
coming.
no, the sharks are already circling. And of course...
They've already said what they want, and I'm sorry, like Graham, you and I deserve a pancake.
We do deserve. How are we going to do it?
We're going to do this carefully.
Okay, I'm going to get in there. So you can go to woolworths.co.za to check out all of the inspiration. Well, this is a lot. This feels big.
Okay, by the way, it's a pancake. Filled with chocolate mousse, topped with more chocolate. It's just amazing. It's just, it's good. Also, cameraman, why are you so inappropriately close to my lips when I was taking a bite of that?
No, it's not inappropriate.
It's not inappropriate?
No, it's perfect.
Okay,
man, it's
all right,
perfect.
I'm with it.
Kind
This
of
is so
like
good.
It's an eclair, but it's not. Absolutely amazing, dude. Definitely don't share these with the children.
No. No.
That must be just for you. Absolutely beautiful. This is how you dine in. You take every box for under 200. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. Did you eat the whole thing? In what? How did you do that?
Yeah, because I didn't want to share. And COVID, so I just ate the whole thing one time.
I didn't think about COVID. You're right.
Which means we have to have these now as well. Done.
Absolutely beautiful, man. No, you've done a fantastic job. I love this. This is going to feed the entire family. It's a feast. It's nutritious. And it's economical. Well done. Cheers.
Well done.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Get 50% off the attorney bond registration fee plus 5,000 Rand cashback on your approved home loan. Dial *120 *001 *123 hash to find out how much you qualify for.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, welcome back. You are just in time as we're about to wrap up our relationship topic for this morning. It's Monday and we're talking relationships, and the question we've been asking is, would you forgive your partner if they cheated on you? Well, clinical psychologist Asha Dulab, she's here with us as we've unpacked this topic, and we love hearing your comments and questions from our social media pages. That's Facebook. And Asha, before we get into some of the comments that have come through, we've unpacked the cheating aspect quite a bit, how to regain trust, what happens to the person being cheated on. But what in the scenario where the partner is a serial cheater? It happens more than once.
So here we're looking at, let's call it the cheater psyche. And it's an attitude that they have. So we need to look at the attitude of that serial cheater. And what are these scripts? You know, the more I cheat, the better I feel about myself. This is who I am, so you can't change me. This is all I know. So what is the script that's playing out? Because we first need to address the attitude rather than the behavior. So once that's addressed, then the behavior. But it's definitely a choice that is being made, and one needs to look at that choice because choices have consequences.
I like that. Going back to the source. Now, of course, the source of our questions has a source of answers too, and Mzansi has come through with some beautiful comments when it comes to social media, and this morning we're looking at a few of them. I see the first one says, yes, time heals everything. Real forgiveness takes time, respect, and love, which I definitely do agree with. Time, although it does seem in the moment that it can be almost impossible, I think you would agree that it can be the perfect opportunity to mend what has been broken.
Well, you know what? I think naturally we have our whole sense of being, it's natural to heal. If we just think of a wound, if we leave it alone and allow it to heal, it will heal. But if we're going to constantly interfere with the wound, it's going to have repercussions and not heal. And I think that extends to the way we look at how we heal and process a betrayal. And I think that it's just natural to our human existence elicits the natural response to heal, and we need to trust that. If we keep on going back into the energy of regurgitation and in the past, we're going to stay stuck in that. It's actually going to imprison ourselves, and we're disappointing ourselves. We hold resentment that will make us feel ill. It will make us feel very unwell, both physically and emotionally.
Slow
and
poison just festering within you.
Yes.
You need to let it go.
Absolutely.
So we have another social media comment. I can't read that far.
So it looks like Reika is saying, good morning. It depends on what the person did, and we can forgive, but that doesn't mean that we need to accept our partner back into our lives. And that seems to be quite a common comment when it comes to South Africa, and Zoe mentioned that earlier. We don't forget, and we're not just gonna, okay, that's fine, you've admitted it, let's move on and carry on where we are. And I like that. I think that shows a little bit of awareness, so to speak, right?
Absolutely. Awareness, there's boundaries. We're also setting out a clear message as to what is what I feel comfortable with. You know, if you stay in a relationship and there's constantly cheating, the serial cheater, what message are we giving to our partner? It's okay that I can be treated this way, but if you can forgive and move on and let go, that will be the first choice.
Easier said than done, though.
I know. I feel like those are always the scenarios where it's easier said than done. So we have another one coming through from Onwele.
Onwele saying, I would definitely forgive, but if the person breaks my trust in a manner that breaks me as a person via cheating, abuse, or manipulation, I would forgive and leave him and pray and bless him from afar so that I can live a beautiful, healthy, and long life. And I support that. I'm all for this. I like the independence that Mzansi is coming through this morning, which is something I definitely implore. I don't know about you being the specialist, what your opinion is on that.
Let's bless the betrayer.
Yeah.
Bless them and let them move on with their lives.
You made your choice, I respect it, but that's your choice. You do your thing. That's very cool. And last one coming through here, it looks like, I think the name is Rutametsi, if I've got a very far screening that I'm looking at, but it says, forgiving, yes, staying with them, no. So I think that definitely echoes a lot of what we are feeling on the couch here. But you, Mzansi, you obviously have your own choice too when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to what you think is worth that investment. And I think that's really what it comes to at the end of the day. Like, what do you want?
Yes, I think it's an important question. What do I want? Because at the end of the day, we are all doing what we want to do. and we want to feel free in doing it. So regardless, we are still going to continue to do what we want. And we just need to be reminded that everything that we do has a consequence.
There we go. Well, Asha, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You are still doing consultations, right?
Yes,
you can
I am.
email info@ashadulab.com.
That's right.
And that is how you can get a hold of Asha. Of course, we love talking relationships, especially on the Monday. It just sets the tone for the rest of the week. And hopefully you got some valuable information from this discussion. The conversation will continue online. So if you do have a comment or a question, you can always leave it on our social media pages.
It's a big question that we're asking this morning, and it's an important one to sort of step back, reflect, and think, if you were in that situation, what would you do? If you've been in that situation, have you
I think
forgiven
it's a game changer once you've gone through it, because it really does kind of rewrite your own script when it comes to relationships. But a lot of people weighing in here, so thank you so much. Let's continue checking out what you guys said. Gary Okamp, the regular himself, definitely, but the relationship will be 100% over without trust and respect. A relationship, be it friendship or an intimate one, is doomed for failure. That's some pretty stern words.
Okay, and then we got another one from Simpiwe Masondo saying trust is really an important factor in a relationship, and once your partner goes to an extent of breaking that trust, really raises eyebrows, because clearly he or she is never satisfied or will never be satisfied, or he or she might as well move along.
Yeah, I suppose how do you, there's just no way of knowing that it's not going to happen again. And I think that it just erodes your trust in everybody as well. Then Louise Cherry, another reg, said no. Once the trust is broken, there is no going back. If they do it once, they will carry on doing it.
We're in.
It's a double, so we certainly commiserate if you have been through something like that, and we send you all of our kind of mental energy to help you get through that particular time.
It does take strength and really just zoning into honoring how you're feeling. If you feel like you can't stay with the person anymore, then honor that. Anyway, Sbu Banda is still here. Stay with us. We'll never break your trust, because I said to you, trust us, you're in for a treat. And there he is, Sbu Banda, after this tea break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Edge, your feel-good breakfast show. A few more minutes left of that feel-good dose for the day. Now, gospel singer and songwriter Sbu Banda is standing next to me, but standing by to perform a medley of traditional gospel songs. Kumnandi kukholwa uJesu ulidwala. Oh yes, oh yes. A song that he grew up listening to in church, and that I grew up listening to in church, and so many of you grew up listening to in church. And it talks about the joys of being a believer of Christ. And the second part speaks about the Lord as a strong tower for his people. Siyatumisa manje, siyayenza lento. Shumayela mshumayeli. And this one, of course, was part of a poll that we put out to you. We gave you 3 options and asked you which songs should artist Sbu Banda perform this morning for Gospel Mondays. Yes, no Amebo, no Ameni at 19%. Of course, uJesu ulidwala medley at 38%. Ungalahli Themba 29%. And of course, Ngu Dual Water at 14%. One of my favorites too. But of course, overwhelming win for this one you're about to perform. A beautiful medley. Take it away.
Still this.
to you one last slice of summer and our first taste of autumn. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.
Who wants to do karaoke? Let's go.
Let's go here, because you guys blend into the context.
Ooh, you got that Monday creative juice flowing again, eh?
Really, no.
Of cup is full again.
So good to see you.
Nice and warm. Nice and warm.
Ra's shirt and Graham's shoes are popping.
Ralph's dance, Hans.
Popping bottles.
I like those socks, Ralph.
Do you like my
It's supposed to be a secret.
You can see that was the idea.
It's the worst kept secret.
Open up.
You're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Promo. There's a promo.
There's a promo.
There's a promo.
Can we see the script?
But you know why
There's
that's
a promo.
not as wicked? Because remember,
Gumnandi, kelele mama.
I know you, the lights.
Nandi, kelandria.
I didn't
Can we see the script?
Yeah. Kelandria.
Don't listen.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Must say my name.
No, put check.
Am I a plural?
Expresso Morning Show has always broken barriers when it comes to entertaining and connecting with our viewers, old and new.
And that's why we're embracing the changes that are going down on our beloved S3 channel.
Yes, you start your day with endless possibilities as our exuberant team fills you in on the world news, provide new perspectives on the things.
You got the last line?
And of course invites you to explore new worlds, all from the comfort of your couch.
Catch your Feel Good Breakfast show every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. only on S3.
Open up. Oh, that feels weird. Should we not? Are we all going to do the open up?
Are you asking us, Lena?
We're going to be in the middle.
Did you hear that?
The last
stick together.
The whole last stick.
Only on S3.
Lush, where would you like me? In the middle. In the middle?
No, that's not middle, but...
Can I read that one more time? Sorry. Sure. Thank you. Oh, we can do a run. Cool.
Gumnandi, hey, come on now.
This shit's like an ad on TV, right? Go on Black Twitter.
At least we're wearing black. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine.
This light of mine, I'm gonna let it.
Yes,
Expresso Morning Show has always broken barriers when it comes to entertaining and connecting with our viewers, old and new.
And that's why we are embracing the changes that are going down on our beloved S3 channel.
Yeah, so start your day with endless possibilities as our exuberant team fills you in on all the world news and provides new perspectives on the things that matter to you.
And of course invites you to explore new worlds, all from the comfort of your couch.
Catch your Feel Good Breakfast show every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. only on S3. Open up.
Only on S3.
Open space.
Can I open?
Spacing. Open up.
Very brown.
Open up.
It's not only fence. D.
I'm fine with Sean on my side. It was the perfect.
Close it.
There was like a triple chin involved.
4, 3, 2.
Expresso Morning Show has always broken barriers when it comes to entertaining and connecting with our viewers, old and new.
And that's why we are embracing the changes that are going down on our beloved S3 channel.
Yeah, so start your day with endless possibilities as our exuberant team fills you in on the world news and provides new perspectives on the things that matter to you.
And invites you to explore new worlds, all from the comfort of your couch.
So catch your Feel Good Breakfast show every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m.
Only on S3. Open up.
It's a take.
It sounded really
a little
weird.
bit.
Sounded
a little bit. Okay, cool. Yes, okay, cool. Okay, whatever
Do you understand?
works.
Can you quickly run through it so I can see what I'm going to read there at the end?
Okay, cool. But actually, we can actually change it. So it says, and invites you. We'll say, and we invite you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll change it in my head.
Together, 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 everyone.
What are we singing today, guys?
Together.
Can it be fun?
I thought we were singing that.
Your mother.
Somebody was on me.
Never heard that song before.
Oh, it's the
Shrek song, bro.
Never watched that show.
You ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
You were looking kind of.
Okay, let's go. They're rolling now. 3, 2.
Expresso Morning Show has always broken barriers when it comes to entertaining and connecting with our viewers, old and new.
And that's why we are embracing the changes that are going down on our beloved S3 channel.
Yeah, so start your day with endless possibilities as our exuberant team fills you in on all the world news and provides new perspectives on the things that matter to you.
And of course, we invite you to explore new worlds, all from the comfort of your couch.
So catch your Feel Good Breakfast show every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m.
Only on S3. Open up.